Welcome to the Main Character Podcast. I am your host, Brandon Hamblin, main character of my own story. But this podcast isn't about me. It's about you, and all of you. Every person that has ever lived on this planet, all 8 billion people here now, all that came before us, and all that will come hereafter are the main characters in their own story. My aim is to interview people that embody living in their energy and discovering from their perspective what their perception of reality is like. Buckle up. You're about to experience the world through another main character's eyes.
Check.
Check. All right. We're on.
We are on. I am Brittany. I am the host today of the Main Character Podcast.
Hey.
The tables have turned, Brandon.
I'm scared.
I'm so excited to be interviewing you this time. It's about time.
I'm glad you're back.
I am so glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I have returned. I said I was going to.
Yes, you did. And we finally made it happen.
So grateful for this opportunity. Thank you. I'm really excited to talk about you.
I'm nervous to talk about me.
Wow.
So don't ask me anything too deep. We're just going to stay surface level. Hi, I'm Brandon. And we're done.
Well, let's talk a little bit about why I'm here right now on your 33rd episode. What is 33 to you, and why is this so important?
Ooh, okay. That's actually a really good first question. So I love sports.
Okay.
And when I started playing basketball, my number was, I think my first number was 3. And then quickly thereafter, I just always had 33. And then you get into the how many good players have worn 33, and then my gamer tag ended up having 33 on it. So everything, my email address is bshamblin33@gmail. Please email me if you want to be a guest. And so it's just kind of become my number. And so I'm glad we could be making this the 33rd episode. It feels very fitting.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
How exciting. Tell me about yourself, Brandon. Tell me about where you were born. We want to know that.
Okay. All right. And I'm just going to end up like talking.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to interrupt me and be like, I'm the host.
Mm-hmm.
I have the questions. Shut up, Brandon. I was born in Oregon City.
Okay.
Oregon. To a 19-year-old mother. Shortly after I was born, my grandpa had a disagreement with my mom's boyfriend, my biological father, and punched him and said, never come around my daughter or my grandson ever again. And so that's how my life started.
Okay.
Was in Oregon City with weird circumstances.
Okay. And how long were you there?
Ooh, boy. So we moved around a ton. When I was like just turned 1, my mom married my dad, Darren. Not biological, but he's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's see here. Right after they got married, we moved down to Medford because we'd been living with my grandparents. So we moved to Medford. And so Oregon City to Medford is, top of Oregon down to the bottom of Oregon, California border. And my grandpa would drive down every weekend to pick me up and spend time with me.
Aww.
And then he'd drive back down, drop me off, and there we went. So we were down in Medford for just a little bit. And then I've mapped this out multiple times, and now I can't remember any of it because, of course, it's answer the question, Brandon. But we bounced all over the place. Then it was back to Portland. Then it was up to Kirkland, Washington. Then it was to Duval. I mean, I moved around on average I think it was every 2.5 years growing up.
Wow.
But it was back and forth between Oregon and Washington.
Okay. All right. And so you remember you do go back there a lot?
Kind of. So my 2 of my brothers are southwest of Portland now. I still have an aunt and uncle in Oregon City. Got a couple other family around there. And then I have brothers over on the west side. A brother, I guess it would be a brother over in Renton.
Okay.
So and friends. So I like to travel.
All right. So brings me to my next question. How many siblings do you have?
3 younger brothers
Oh, wow. Okay.
with a pretty wide age gap. I've got one that's 3 years younger than me. That's Gavin. Then one that's 7 years younger. That's Andrew. And one that's 15 years younger. And that's Hunter.
Wow.
So
how old is Hunter?
Oh gosh, math. 15. He's 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how old you were by saying that question.
38, soon to be 39.
All right.
Knocking on 40's door.
So then you came here and you met your wife when?
Ooh, see, okay, there's so much to all this. So amongst our many moves, we had been back down in Oregon between 4th and 7th grade. And so then my dad, he was in the car business and he always wanted to own his own car dealership. And he was kind of pegged in the Oregon area as like a top salesman.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was kind of hard for him to like break that ceiling of, you're really good at this. We aren't going to promote you to the higher level. So part of the reason we kept going up to Washington was he could become general sales manager or like the GM of dealership and hopefully get a partnership and yada, yada. So we had been down in Portland. He got an opportunity to run a really nice Nissan dealership in Bellevue. So we moved back up to Washington. We moved to Carnation, which is just east of Bellevue, Issaquah area, and grew up Mormon. And so the thing with the LDS church that they're very good at is they set up your boundaries, right? So across the world, when you move somewhere, if you are LDS, you already know what congregation you're going to. There's typically 2 or 3 congregations that meet in a building, and what time it is, all that stuff. They have it all planned out. Everybody teaches the same Sunday school lesson every Sunday. It's very organized. So we move up to Carnation, and we have to go to a building that's all the way out in North Bend, which is a good 30, 40-minute drive, when there's 3 or 4 buildings closer to us. But that's just how the boundaries are. So we're assigned to a building. So we go to that building. I'm 13 years old, and the first Sunday, right, we're trying to meet people, trying to get to know people, and there's this big, mean kid picking on me. And we go home, and I tell my folks, I don't like the new congregation. This kid's mean.
Yeah.
They say, no, well, he just wants to be your friend. Like, well, he could like try and be friendly.
Yeah, no kidding.
So fast forward, he ends up becoming my best friend. And there's probably a group of like 4 or 5 of us, and we all bounce around each other's houses, play Halo all the time, and just nerdy boy teenage stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he lived on 40 acres, and he had, wait, I can do this math, 4 older sisters. I didn't know the 40 acres existed. I certainly didn't know his sisters existed, because I'd drive onto the property, walk into his room, and we'd play Halo.
Mm-hmm.
I had a girlfriend, a couple girlfriends. It's coming up to be my senior prom. I'm 17 years old now, so 13 to 17. And I had just broken up with my girlfriend, and Rachel had just broken up with her boyfriend. And she calls me out of the blue, got her number from Ben, my best friend, her brother, asking if she could join our group, because her old friend group was friends with her boyfriend, and they had kind of ostracized her. So she called me and said, hey, can me and this guy that I'm going to take, can we join you? And we ended up spending prom together instead of with our dates. And fast forward now, let's see, here in June, we'll be together, married 20 years, together longer than that.
So let me get this straight. From the time you were 13 to 17, you were going over to her house as well, and you did not even know that she lived there.
No, all of a sudden it was like, bro, you have sisters.
God.
I mean,
what?
They were there, but it was his, older sister. Like, I don't care. And then all of a sudden I cared.
Yeah, then you cared. I'm just blown away that for that long you didn't even know that she existed. And
well, and 40 acres. You would think that we would like
screw the 40 acres.
Go
You
do
didn't know that she lived
fun.
in the house that you
I
were in
don't
all
know.
the time.
Yeah, they're just they're yelling at us for screeching down the driveway in our cars and for being the loud, annoying younger brother sibling or friends. So.
Just a question I have now that I heard you say it. You said you were raised Mormon.
Oh, yeah.
Does that mean that you are still Mormon?
No.
Okay.
So we were both raised LDS. Rachel was definitely.
What does LDS mean?
So the full name of the church is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Oh, okay.
And quick side note, caveat, because this drives me crazy. For forever and a half, they've been known as Mormons because, along with the Bible, they have the Book of Mormon, right? So it's kind of easy to categorize a group based off of something that they believe uniquely. Mormon became their nickname. They've been known as Mormons for forever.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there was like a decade ago a big campaign of I'm a Mormon. And so people were blasting their social medias, and there were billboards and banners and stuff all over the place. I'm a Mormon, I'm a Mormon, I'm a Mormon. Mm-hmm. So they have a prophet that leads the church. And when the prophet that had that campaign died, new prophet comes in and says, we're no longer going to be known as Mormons. We are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And they were very adamant that everybody start referring to them in that way. So they've told the AP and all the news outlets and members of the church and everybody to say, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That just sounds like too much of a mouthful, and everybody knows them as Mormons. So
yeah.
Okay, that was a weird, quick caveat. Sorry.
No, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Fun fact. If I didn't know that, I would assume everybody else might not know that.
Yeah, so now,
well.
now you know. So growing up, so there's something called being active, right? And think of that as the people that go every Sunday to church. They start considering you inactive when you show up just kind of every once in a while. Because they also have like lay ministry. They don't pay anybody. So the pastor, the head bishop of each congregation, they don't get paid. Sunday school teachers don't get paid. Nobody gets paid. So they expect the membership to fill those roles. So almost everybody in a congregation has some kind of role that they need to fill. So anyways, that again, I'm going to go on weird tangents just so you know.
I'm ready for it.
So growing up, we were active and inactive. So we'd go a year without going to church, and then my dad, I think this is more my childhood perception than reality. But it felt like things would get bad when we were inactive. Like my dad might lose his job or something funky would happen. And then it was, we need blessings. We should probably start going back to church again. We'd go back to church and everything would be great. And then we'd start to fall off again. And then things would get bad. And then, so it was kind of this like confirmation bias of, good things happen when you go to church. Bad things happen when you don't. But we kind of did that routine multiple times growing up. And then when you're in high school, they have something called seminary. And so when we moved back up to Washington when I was 13, a member of the bishopric, right? There's the bishop who more or less is the pastor, and then he has two assistants. One of the assistants came to visit us to say, hey, welcome to the area. I'm one of the guys in your congregation. What can we do to get you to come to church? And I remember he wrote me this beautiful letter welcoming us to the area and just saying, you as a young man, there's a lot that you're going to be able to do. And I'm excited to have you with our young men's group and blah, blah, blah. And it like really hit me because it felt like somebody cared. And so we ended up becoming active, right? That's where I met Ben. And from then until forever, I was active. So a lot of the inactivity was when I was younger. In high school, they have something called early morning seminary. And so when everybody else is still asleep and waiting for high school to start at 7:30-ish, I think is when high school starts, 8 maybe.
This is like Monday through Friday thing?
Monday through Friday. I'm up at 5:30 because seminary is from 6 to 7. And I did that all 4 years, 100%. And
respect.
I would skip school, but I was going to seminary. I don't know, like I made it a mission that I was going to do it, and I did it.
Good for you.
But I would wake up at the crack of dawn, go
Praise
to seminary.
the Lord.
Praise the Lord. And then I'd be like, I'm going home. I'm not doing the school thing. And so I skipped school all the time. Went on my mission when I was 19, like I was supposed to, even though I really didn't want to.
Explain your mission.
Yeah. So again, right. I'm checking all the boxes. I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do as a teenager. I'm doing the seminary thing. There's from 12 and 13, 14 and 15, and then 16, 17. Each of those age groups every 2 years, in the young men's group within the church, you like move up to another level, right? So in each one of those, I was the president of that quorum. The young men's group for weekly activity was tied to Boy Scouts. So I got my Eagle Scout. I did the things that you were supposed to do. And then my mission. So dating Rachel from 17. I'm supposed to go on this mission at 19. I'm the oldest of 4 boys. I've checked all the boxes. I'm supposed to go on a mission. Rachel expects me to go on a mission because that's another thing that they do a very good job of drilling into you is for the young women, you want to marry a return missionary, don't you? Well, of course. And so I needed, if I was going to marry Rachel, I needed to go on a mission. And I very much wanted to marry Rachel.
You knew that when you were how old?
This is going to sound so sappy. So when we do the prom thing, we start hanging out. We're make-out buddies. Mm-hmm. Then we decide, we're make-out buddies because we just both got out of serious relationships and we don't need another serious relationship. And then we decide to date. She's still in Falls City, which is in that Carnation, North Bend, Issaquah area. I move all the way up to Anacortes just before my senior year of high school. So I'm now 2.5 hours away from her. We decide to date the day before I move. So every weekend we're running back and forth to see each other. And which is also funny because now a boyfriend or a girlfriend's sleeping over at the house and we're all good, active Mormons. And yet boyfriend sleeping over, not sleeping with Rachel, but right. I'm over in my best friend's room or, she's in my brother's room because he's not sleeping in his room.
So is this a secret to your parents? Is this
no, they know all this.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And my mother-in-law did not like it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. Because I had slept over there all the time, but now all of a sudden I'm dating the daughter. It's different. And I get it. Cause if you're a kid at 2:00 in the morning, what are you going to do? Everybody else is asleep.
Yeah.
You're going to find a way to get into some trouble. Okay. Where was I going with all that? When did I know that I was going to marry her? We're in my room in Anacortes. And I don't remember if this is 6 months into us dating, but it couldn't have been much more or less than that. And my room was so big. My room was bigger than the room that we're in now. And this is a good size room.
Yeah.
My bedroom was bigger than this. My walk-in closet was big enough that I put my king size bed, my dresser, and my big, 60-inch television, which was not flat screen back then, in my walk-in closet. It was pretty nice. Anyways, so we're in there watching something and we're listening to music.
You're in your closet?
We're in my closet.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The joke was I came out of the closet every morning. And we're Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing comes on. Mm-hmm. And I just start bawling. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm just so in love." It was the sappiest thing, but it's still one of my favorite. I hope it's one of her favorite memories too. It's one of my favorite memories because I just my whole body, my whole soul, I just knew I loved her. Aww. And so probably right around then is when I really thought, I kind of want to do this. I'm 17, 18 years old.
Oh, how cool. So, what a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, of course, I'm going to go on my mission because I want to marry this girl and she expects me to go on a mission.
Right.
So one of a cultural thing within Mormonism, you submit to your pastor, your bishop, hey, I'm going to go on a mission. They send it to Salt Lake. Salt Lake assigns you where you're going. So you have no say in the matter. And I just one of the jokes is you don't want to go to Salt Lake.
Did they pay for this? Do you pay for this?
No, we pay.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's the other thing is wherever you go, this number may have changed, but you need to save roughly about $10,000. And so you could be going to some super poor country where that $10,000 is going to last you for forever, or you could be going somewhere expensive like New York or Japan, and 10,000 is not going to get you through the whole thing. So they kind of accumulate everything together and spread it out. But your expectation is $10,000. So not only is it culturally expected that you're going to go, but you also got to figure out a way to raise $10,000. So that could be family helping. That could be you getting a job and saving up for it, whatever it is. So you got to pay for it and you don't get to pick where you're going. And then you get this envelope in the mail and everybody gets excited because it's your mission call. And so my family were up at my house in Anacortes, my mom, my dad, Rachel's there.
And you have this envelope you haven't even opened.
I have no idea.
Okay. So you have everybody gathered around.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you open it, right? Everybody's watching. It's getting recorded. And it's brother or elder, I can't remember how they phrase it, Brandon Scott Hamblin. You have been, because of your willingness to serve the Lord, you have been called to serve in the mission field of, right? And then that's the moment everybody's really waiting for. Where are we going? New Jersey.
Oh.
And you can visibly see me just go like, the fuck? Because nobody wants to go to New York, right?
Yeah,
it's
sure.
right across the bridge. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Maine, I could pick multiple places on the East Coast that I would have loved to have gone to. New Jersey was not on that list. I was very disappointed. But then right underneath that, it says, and you will be serving in a Spanish-speaking area. I had studied Japanese and German. If anything, I was hoping, I was praying. I thought I was maybe going to go to Japan. I was really excited.
Mm-hmm.
So I was even more disappointed because it wasn't where I wanted to go. And it wasn't any of the other options of where I wanted to go. And it wasn't in the language I had studied. But I'll take learning another, if it had just been English speaking. So that was kind of like a cool, all right, at least I'm getting something.
Yeah.
So then they send you down to Provo, where they have the Missionary Training Center, the MTC. And I'm there for, I think, a month because I'm learning another language.
How long are these missions? And are they all the same length for
They're
everybody?
all 2 years. Well, okay. So, there's some exceptions to that.
10 grand?
Yeah.
Wow.
10 grand for 2 years.
Okay.
Where most people are, and that's, I hope it doesn't come across this way. I don't feel any hatred or animosity or anything towards Mormonism.
Right.
There's stuff that I don't think is accurate.
Right.
But I still have a lot of love and for them. And also, I think they're some of the best people in the world, right? Because they seek education, they seek family, they seek doing the right thing. They very much like to live a Christ-like life, which I think would probably serve a lot of people better if they aimed towards that.
Yeah.
In fact, we just had an assassination that dealt with somebody trying to, convince other people that that's a good way to go. Where was I going with that? This whole Charlie Kirk thing has me totally spun this week.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
It's got me.
I know. I was gonna say, rest in peace, Charlie.
Yeah, we might have to touch on that in a minute because I've got things on my mind with that one.
All right, let's go back to your mission.
Yeah, let's go back to the mission.
Okay.
So
you go back.
So so everybody gets
to your
mostly
training.
2 years. Yeah. So I go down to do the training, and then they ship me over to New Jersey, and I'm in the mission field for I think 4 months. And I as much as I didn't personally want to do it, I had seen the benefit. Right, there's so many missionaries that come home and say this is the best 2 years of my life, whether it's right after the mission or they could be 60, 70 years old, and they will say, 2 best years of my life was my mission. Right. And so there's got to be some magic there. There's got to be something good.
Yeah.
But I put my heart and my mind into it. And after I was out there for 5-6 months, no, I'm bouncing. I'm done. I don't want to.
So what did it look like for you over there? You're around this, I would imagine you're just around some indigenous people that don't speak your language.
Okay, so it was really
schools
So it was really cool because the way the mission works is you get paired up with a companion. So there's 2 of you together at all times. You do everything together except for go to the bathroom. And part of that's for safety and for keeping each other on track because you're taking 19, 20, 21-year-old boys and expecting them to be responsible. So I think that's part of why it's the 2 best years is because you become a man in that time frame.
Sure.
And so we get over there, we land in Newark, which if you've never been to Newark is disgusting. And they had us kind of go proselyte for that first day around Newark. And I just remember thinking, it smells like piss everywhere. There's trash everywhere. These people are gross.
So it's like downtown Spokane.
Multiplied by 10. It's so bad.
Okay.
And it's gross because the East Coast has something on the West Coast where they've been around longer, right?
Mhm.
That's where we landed. That's where the colony started. That's where everything's been. So older
Sure.
architecture, all that stuff. They have more time to have like just disgusting rundown everything.
Yeah.
So Newark's gross.
Sure.
But then you can get assigned out to anywhere. And so there's like farm towns and there's other, I mean, it's everything like here. And so the area that I got assigned to was on the ocean. It's called Perth Amboy, or maybe that's a bay. I don't know, but it's on the water. And me and I think there was another set of missionary companions in our apartment. But you wake up in the morning, you read your scriptures, you pray together, and then you go out and you knock on doors. And there might be some other stuff in there, but like that's what you do for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so it was interesting because the area that we were in, Perth Amboy, I'm trying to think of a city around here that's anything like it. Like maybe Post Falls, right? There's some older parts of it, but it's starting to gentrify and get some nice parts to it. We would go proselyting and you go to these super cool old neighborhoods where all the houses are 100 plus years old and just actually pretty well maintained. But you wouldn't knock on the front door because those were the rich white people. But if you went around back, everybody had a cellar. You'd open up the cellar and go down into the basement, and they had partitioned off with plywood space for illegal immigrants. So all these rich white people are renting out space in their basement to illegal immigrants.
Wait, when you were there?
Oh, yeah.
What?
And this is regular, commonplace. And this is the George Bush era when he had started to talk about some deportation stuff and everybody was freaking out. There were like, not riots in the streets, but they were having protests about this. And so I remember going to our mission president and saying, well, are we supposed to be baptizing people who are here illegally? Right? Like, because there's what do we do with politics? And he goes, no, your job is salvation. Your job is to go preach the gospel. So illegal, legal, like none of that matters.
Yeah.
They're people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a very interesting experience.
I like that answer.
Yeah. I thought it was a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was some of the beginning of me being able to look at something and go, okay, there is letter of the law. There is the right thing in those eyes, but then there's also the spirit of the law. And so, yeah, should we I don't agree with the illegal immigration. If you want to come to this country, which is amazing and gives plenty of people amazing opportunities, you should do that the right way. Part of the reason we have such a great country is because we have good laws, mostly. But I also understand why somebody would want to do anything and everything that they could to get here. We had somebody that we were teaching that we went to go visit him one day, and she was inconsolable. She was bawling her eyes out. She had been trying to get I can't remember if it was her sister or her cousin up here. And so they had hired a coyote, and their family had spent like all their life savings, right? It's like 10, 20 grand to hire a coyote to get you across the border illegally. At least that's what it was for them.
Oh, a coyote.
Yeah,
that
like
means somebody that'll.
Yeah, a human trafficker, more or less, right?
Okay.
Somebody that you hire to help traffic you across.
Okay.
And so they had paid this coyote to do it. And as they got across the border, they had kidnapped him and said, well, unless you give us more money, we're just going to put him right back in Mexico.
Oh.
And so again, right, well, you shouldn't be doing that anyways because it's illegal.
Right.
And now you've done something illegal and they took all your money and they want more money. You can't go to the police. Right. So the humanity of it all is awful.
Right.
And it was a very interesting time.
Wow.
Yeah. And eye-opening.
Right. So you're there for 6 months, then
yeah. So
this whole time you're talking to Rachel, you have to be worried that she's not, or can you not talk to Rachel?
Okay. You can't, back then, now I think everybody has a cell phone and they have some rules around it. But back then, you could call home on Mother's Day and Christmas. You could send emails or write letters, but you could not hop on the phone. Well, me and my companion would go to the local library, get on to send emails and synced it up with Rachel and my mom and everybody else. So they were on. So we were more or less instant messaging.
Yeah.
So there's ways to skirt around the rules.
Okay. I'm glad that you found them.
And I found them. And I knew, I mean, it's Rachel. I knew that we were in love, but I also knew here's a really eligible 19-year-old smoking hot blonde. There's going to be people interested in this, especially because what do I expect her to do? Stay home for 2 years and not go out and mingle with people?
Yeah.
So one of the things is something called getting a Dear John letter. Same thing happens in the military, right? It's you've been gone too long. I couldn't wait. I found somebody. I love you. I hope you're successful. But, and so I did have that on my mind of I'm going to get a letter that she found some dude and I'm gone.
But at the same time, you want to finish your mission. Right? Because you're like, what if she doesn't accept that?
Right. And so, okay, and this is where I'm exposing probably too much, but I'm sorry, Rachel. So same time, we had moved up to Anacortes because my dad had bought into 3 car dealerships. Mm-hmm. He was making, and he'll correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was making about $80,000 to $90,000 a month. But a good chunk of that was going back towards him buying his partnership into the dealerships, but we still had, my dad was making really good money. Something funky started happening. Like my mom had gotten to the point where she was playing World of Warcraft a lot and not taking care of the house. Mm-hmm. And she was definitely in like homemaker mode because I have 3 younger brothers, right? I mean, if I'm 19, my youngest brother's 4. So she's still in that mode of taking care of the family. My dad would get home and nothing was done. And so not only is he working this high stress, high demanding job, taking care of all those employees and trying to build this thing with these 3 car dealerships, but then he's coming home and having to do the shopping, the grocery shopping, clean the house, take care of my siblings, all that stuff. So there was something funky going on. And so that's what I've always told people is the reason I left was as the oldest, I felt a responsibility to go take care of my family because something was up.
Sure.
And that's true. You also can't do certain things before you leave on your mission, right? So like if you're a drinker, if you have sex, if you like go down the list of things that you shouldn't be doing, especially premaritally.
Sure.
And not that Rachel did we didn't do that. But we had fooled around enough that's what I told my mission president was, hey, I have these things that I didn't talk about that I should probably like work through. He goes, yeah, you should probably go home to work on that. So I go home. When you are a missionary, they set you apart. There's like a little ceremony where they set you apart specifically to be a missionary. And so at that point, no more TV, no more listening to the radio. You need to be with a companion. Like it gets strict. So I get home and the first thing that they do is release me from that. And so I'm meeting with my bishop and he goes, so you have 2 options. You can either work on these things, we can work on them together and you can go back out on the mission, in a month or 2. Or you can call it a day and move on. Mm-hmm. Well, Rachel was in the car waiting for me. He knew what my choice was. And then Rachel and I were in Bellevue and we went to the Red Robin, which no longer exists. And we were trying to figure out what our future looked like. And I said, well, we could just get married. And 2 weeks later, we got married.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So before you left, though, this is a conversation you had with her. And so she was on board with knowing that you were going to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I'm actually trying to remember that part because when I went and talked to my mission president, I don't think I had told her what I was planning on doing. I just knew for me, I couldn't do that for another 1.5 years.
Right.
And so, yeah, it could have been me and Rachel. It could have been the stuff with my folks. But I think really when I boil it down, it was I didn't want to do it.
Right.
And so I was going to find a way to not do it anymore.
Right.
Which for somebody that had committed to 4 years of seminary, 100%, I didn't miss a day. Mm-hmm. Right. I was on board on all the stuff. I knew that I could do hard things. And so it really wasn't it's just too hard. You don't want to do it. No, I just like knew in my soul I wasn't supposed to be there. So.
Yeah. Enough said. So you got home Then you had a whole family to take care of because there was some funky stuff.
Oh, geez.
And as the oldest.
Yeah. So we get married and we move up to Anacortes. And, I noticed like when I left, I had a Honda Del Sol. Right. So I'm working on a car dealership between 16 and me leaving on my mission. I had owned or driven, 30 different cars because I totaled one of my cars and then I was just driving cars off the lot for a while. And then my dad was like, well, you should probably actually like buy one. This guy trades in a Honda Del Sol that he had just spent $2,000 on wheels and rims. I bought it for like $1,200. And because I think my dad gave him like maybe 500 or something. And that thing was awesome. Right? You see a Honda Del Sol, it's not the most masculine car. This guy had like pimped and tricked this thing out. It had racing seats. It had a short shifter.
Cool.
It was really cool. And so I, especially zipping from Anacortes down to Fall City, once I did it in an hour. Again, it's a 2.5 hour drive. I did it in an hour. So I was a speed demon in that thing. It also got like 45 miles to the gallon. It was amazing. I love that car. But when I came home, my dad had pawned it. I'm like, okay, so I know something's going on. Why'd you pawn my car?
Yeah.
It's only been a few months. My brothers could have started driving that when they needed to drive. I need something when I come home. Why is my car gone?
Right.
And I think the excuse was something along the lines of, I can get you another car. Right? Car dealership. But we're living up there. I'm working for my dad. I'm selling cars. Selling cars as a newlywed or like any wed is awful because as a car salesman, you work bell to bell, like Monday through Sunday. If you want to make money. So I'm away from Rachel. My dad pawned more of my stuff, like my snowboard and other things. And again, I'm thinking, you make a shit ton of money. Why are you pawning my shit off?
Right.
And we aren't digging me doing the car salesman thing. So we moved down to her family's property on Fall City, but we're still running up to visit my folks enough. And it just can't be, then it was the brother just below me, Gavin, what is he now? 35-year-old. He was 16 and my dad caught him doing drugs. Broke down the bathroom door, like all sorts of drama around that. But then it was like, but my dad's starting to act really weird and my mom's acting weird. And then I can't remember like how it all broke down, but the punchline was, oh, they're all doing it. Except for my two youngest brothers. They were all doing drugs together. Which I think my mom would deny to this day, but I don't know. So who knows? That's dirty laundry that I'm airing for everybody. My dad loses we find out his partner, the original owner, kicks him out. So now he's not an owner in the dealership, sent him home and everything's getting pawned off and my dad's acting really weird. And that's when it came out that they were doing drugs. And then it was just a downhill spiral on that end of the family after that. I mean, It's since recovered, but the thing that I always say is Rachel and I got married. I was 19, she was 20. And then within a year, my family had lost everything and her family had lost everything. And so when I didn't go to school, I didn't go to college, but we got married young thinking I'm either going to go work for my father-in-law, who's wildly successful, has a publicly traded company, does seminars all across the country. Mm-hmm. I'll go work for him or I'll go work for my dad. Tried working for my dad, didn't like it. So I'm going to go work for my father-in-law. And within a year, they were both not avenues that I could take any longer because they just imploded.
Man.
And
so that'd be stressful as a newlywed and as that being your plan.
We became the adults in the room.
Sure.
And so for the next decade and a half, when it was a family birthday party or Sunday dinners or holidays, it was at our house. Because my parents end up splitting. My dad, for 10 years, more or less, is on and off drugs. My brothers are bouncing around all the houses, aunts and uncles and grandparents, and between my parents living with them. My mom's living with my grandparents. On Rachel's side, her parents got prosecuted for tax evasion, which is there's a whole story there. My father-in-law serves 7 years in federal prison. My mother-in-law served a year and a half. And my in-laws are two of the kindest, most saintly kindest people that I know. as successful as they were always giving. They were helping people buy houses, buying cars. They were opening up public parks. They were always doing good for other people. Didn't deserve what happened to them. My dad, on the other hand, he was not a good guy. He was, when he was in the depths of his addiction, he was a not good guy. He even tried to steal his car from police impound, got caught, and didn't spend a day in jail. So my dad, who'd probably deserved time, didn't get a day. My father-in-law, mother-in-law, who didn't deserve any of what they got totally the raw end of the deal. And so we're dealing with that in our 20s.
Wow.
It was nuts. So
that's mind-blowing, actually.
Yeah.
So I want to know, back to the religious question, though.
Oh, yeah.
You said you were...
I never finished that punchline, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon.
Nope, it's fine. That's why I'm here to remind you.
That's right. So all throughout our 20s, still Mormon. So in fact, when we got married.
So when you say Mormon, are you like, as still strict and as still like going to church all the time as you were?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. We were going to church every Sunday. When we got married, we did a civil wedding. And because the big goal in the LDS faith is you get married in the temple, you get sealed in the temple. So most of Christendom says, well, until death do you part, right? And then in heaven, we don't have family associations. We're all just children of God. In the LDS faith, if you get sealed in the temple, you are sealing your family together for time and all eternity. So for the rest of forever, we're family, which I think is a much more beautiful way of interpreting everything. And I think is more spot on than not. And so when we got married civilly, it was until death did us part. And one of the things, when there's some kind of corrective action that happens in the church, you aren't eligible, at least it was then, you aren't eligible to go to the temple for a year. So that for that first year after we got married, we were meeting with our bishop, doing all the, counseling that he wanted us to do. And then on the 1-year anniversary of us getting married, we got sealed in the temple. And then, we were every Sunday churchgoers for the next 10, 15 years. Yeah, 10, 15 years. And started raising our kids that way and baptized my 2 oldest kids. And I served on the bishopric, and Rachel taught they call the women's group Relief Society. Mm-hmm. So when you're 18 plus, you go, that's the Sunday school more or less that you go into. So she taught, all of our friends group were all Mormon. We had
still Mormon.
Yeah, we were up until, we moved here December of 22. And and that was also coming out of COVID. And so what really part of the switchover was of not being LDS anymore.
Okay.
Was up through 2019. We're going to church every Sunday. Our friends group, right? We had a really cool, there was 5 families that we would get together at least once a month to do game night, go on campouts. We did everything together, all Mormon. And COVID hit, church shuts down, especially in Western Washington. Everything was shut down. All those stupid plastic barriers. Everybody had their stupid masks on. It was stupid. You guys were stupid. And I remember when the shot came out, and I haven't had a vaccination since my mid-20s. And that was a really radical change for me, because I was trust the government, trust the FDA, trust the CDC. We're their citizens. They wouldn't do anything bad to us. They want what's best for us. And there were just all these little things kind of along the way that ticked away at that and made me go, oh, maybe they don't have our best interests at heart. And we had done a lot of health changes, because when we got married, I think we were eating frozen Bertollis and Bisquick muffins for every dinner. So we were eating like crap and all miserable. And one of Rachel's bosses, Kais, helped us kind of really switch our diets and help us see how the medical system works and how to be holistic. And he really switched our minds on how to take care of ourselves and how health works. And so when the COVID vaccine came out, I remember thinking, they haven't tested this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new technology. mRNA has not been shown in any human trials because I don't think they had done human trials. It had been ineffective and killed a lot of the animals that they'd done the animal testing on. Like, it takes years to develop these things. And it was Operation Trump had a funny name for it. Turbo Operation, something fast. And it comes out and there's zero chance in hell I'm taking it.
Mm-hmm.
It just screams not good to me. And the prophet, who was a heart surgeon as a profession, he was one of the first guys that helped develop heart transplants. Brilliant heart surgeon. He goes out there and says, somebody's going to send in a comment saying I'm wrong about this. He more or less said, take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the LDS faith, the prophet is just like any prophet in the Bible, right? This is somebody getting direct revelation from God,
Mm-hmm.
good information that he's supposed to disseminate out to everybody else. Here's a guy who professionally should know better.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's really inspired by God, should definitely know better.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember all the people, because there's also a lot of conservatism within the LDS faith. There's definitely progressives and people on the left side of the aisle, but it's more right than it is left. All of a sudden, because he said, yeah, go get it, all the people that were against it are all for it. And that was kind of weird. And then I remember walking into church once they opened churches back up, as if that's not a civil liberty violation right off the bat. And I walk in and I'm not wearing a mask. Anywhere and everywhere that I can, I'm protesting. I'm not wearing a mask. This is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I walk in, everybody in the congregation's wearing a mask. And I'm looking, and here's a guy that I used to count tithes with every Sunday. And we had amazing conversations, and one of the most politically right people that I know, and he's wearing a mask and he's kind of staring me down. And here's another guy that I built my AR-15 with that has 20 of his own builds that, again, very conservative, and he's giving me the stink eye. I'm like, what the fuck is the matter with you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Are we just like sheep? Do we just go along with whatever we're told? That's not how this works. And especially for you people that don't like what the government tells you to do, and you're just eating it up. I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And so that was I had already been accumulating. Yeah.
You're the only one.
Yeah. We walked in and I just remember feeling like instantly
You
ostracized.
and Rachel both.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm liking this. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Rachel wasn't wearing a mask. I would wear one because I was still working the entire time. And so if I was in a meeting or if I'm in the headquarters of the bank, and so there's people that are definitely like, oh my gosh, you're not wearing a mask. And so to keep the peace,
Right.
I'd do it every once in a while. But Rachel was not wearing a mask ever. So that was that was another addition to a longer list of things that I kept kind of going, yeah, I don't know about this thing. Mm-hmm. It's good. Raising a family that way is fantastic, right? It teaches you good morals. It gives you a lot of stability. It gives you community. There's so many positives that I think that's one of the reasons why it's so hard for people to leave a tradition that they know. It's because you don't know any other way.
Right.
Your life is built around it. And when we moved here, we moved away from family. We moved away from the congregation that we knew. We didn't have community, right? Like, we kind of got to start over.
Right.
And we tried going to the new congregation here for probably about 6 months. Rachel she had started doing Reiki and some other stuff before we moved over here. And so we were being exposed and opened up to ideas outside of the church anyways. And so the timing of everything worked out. So we more or less left the church, and then we had to re-examine everything about our lives. And that was hard.
Sure.
And so, yeah, it's been an interesting, it'll be 3 years here in a couple months, and we've drastically changed a lot of, well, not everything about our lives, but there's a lot that's changed.
Yeah, you guys still believe that there's a God and you believe in God, but you just don't go to church. Is that what that looks like?
Right. Yeah.
If you are to go to church, which church would you prefer to go to? Like, would it be a Mormon church?
So that's a great question, because that was the other piece, is we did go to other churches.
Okay.
Because
only once COVID hit.
Well, no. So once we moved over here.
Okay.
Yeah. When we were over there, just Mormon, all that fun stuff. And I've always been open to, I am give me information.
Yeah.
If you want me to, so I had been to other churches. I had tried other things before, but for Rachel and the rest of the family, nobody had ever done anything different.
Sure.
And so when we moved here, I went to my boss's congregation. I think it was the Anthem. Is that Anthem over on 41 with the big soccer field? I don't know. We tried that out, and it definitely felt like
wasn't for you.
It wasn't for us.
Okay.
It wasn't for us. And I think that's maybe the most interesting thing, because a lot of people will say, oh, Mormons aren't Christian. They don't believe in the same Jesus. Okay. Well, foundationally, whether you're Mormon, Catholic, non-denominational, Baptist, go down the list. Do you believe that Jesus died for your sins and is your savior and is the only way to return to God? You can argue over Trinity. You
Amen.
Can argue over baptism. You can argue over all the rest of the stuff. Is that what you believe? Okay, so you're following Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes you a Christian.
Right.
And so I'll debate anybody that wants to, and I completely understand. I do actually think that you're looking at two different Jesuses, but there's a mindset thing around that. His teachings and what he did and him being your salvation, everybody agrees on that. That's in that umbrella. So all Christian to me. I'm not Christian. Mm-hmm. I said this to my mother-in-law the other day. I think I'm in the scriptures more now than when I was an active member of the church.
Wow.
And so I still use the Bible all the time. My belief, and again, I've had to re-examine and look at everything in my life. One of the things that I definitely believe in Christian principles and in living a Christ-like life. I don't think that God, who's omniscient and all-knowing, would have instantly had his plan screwed up and corrupted by Adam and Eve, unless that was part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that's part of the plan, then saying, and Christian loves to say this, that Adam, because of the fall of Adam, all men are fallen, we're all sinful. God could give two shits about us because we're sinful. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
I 100% believe that whether you call it God, source, some great intelligence, something loving created us for a purpose and knew what that was, and it all works out the way it's supposed to.
Right. So when you talk about a Bible now,
yeah,
what Bible are you opening?
Ooh, okay. So that's also another interesting point. Within the LDS Church, it's normally the King James version of the Bible, right? And we've got modern, all sorts of, there's so many different versions of the Bible now, right? I mean, they're all more or less the same, but it's just, instead of having Old English, it's modern English or whatever it is. So I'll crack open whatever version of the Bible. That being said, Christendom, non-denominational generally, Protestant generally, uses, I'm going to get this number wrong, I think it's 75 books within the Old and New Testament. Catholics have an additional 3 to 5 books, and I'm probably roughly off on those numbers, but they have more books in the Bible than Protestants do. And then Orthodox Christianity has a couple more books on top of that. So that gets into an even way more interesting question of which version of the Bible are you using? How many books are within that Bible?
Yeah.
And I think that interpretations matter a lot, because if you're just reading a modern English version of the Bible, you're missing, because we're already getting it translated from Greek and Hebrew. Mm-hmm. Those words mean something in that language, right? Like English, and this is part of what I learned learning Spanish and Japanese and German, is there's so many things that are unsaid in English that you just understand because it's English, because we're English speakers, where when you're trying to learn English, you're like, what the heck is that? Why does that? Why can you use the word dick, like, or fuck, or what? Right? These are crude examples.
Yeah.
But you could have a whole sentence that's just the word fuck. Well, how does that work?
Yeah.
Right?
Is it not like that in any other language?
No, it is, and that's my point. And so
Okay.
if you're reading just the modern English translation of the Bible, well, you're missing. If we're the Word of God is holy and perfect, it's been translated, aka like telephone, down through a couple different languages at this point, because Old English to New English is already kind of funky.
Sure.
And now you're pulling it from Hebrew and Greek, that there's going to be mistranslations in there too. So whenever somebody quotes a scripture and they think I think that's one of the things that fascinates me the most is we have thousands of Christian denominations. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And they all say they're right.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's all interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
So who's right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So what do you open up?
What do I open? Like, where do I go?
Yeah. What Bible do you open up?
Honestly, it's typically a Google search.
Okay.
And so, because I'm looking for something specific. So I end up quoting things like Lilies of the Field or the Refiner's Fire or the Beatitudes from Christ or the Adam and Eve story or like any number of things. And I already know where I'm like what book I'm looking for or what story I'm looking for. So I'll just Google like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John if I wanted to read specifically about Jesus's life. I'll just Google it and whatever link pops up.
Yeah.
And usually they'll have multiple translations within whatever you pull up. And so I'll be able to see King James, modern translation, all that stuff.
I wanted to dive so deep into this part with you because I felt like it was such a big part of who you were and who you are as a person and really just a huge part of your life in general.
I love that. Actually, I'm curious. Why does that come across?
For no reason. I just felt like, somebody that's going to study that for as long as you did, and you were so active and so involved in everything, to go from that to you, not being as active or not being active at all anymore is huge to me. I'm trying to figure that out, trying to figure out how your parents were in the same ball game and as you doing that. And then they decided to just start using drugs. That's all mind blowing to me. So I'm just trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot there. So I've always, I mentioned really early on that my grandpa would come and pick me up from Medford. Mm-hmm. Me and my grandpa are tight. I love that man. And I was very fortunate to have two father figures in my dad and my grandpa. Because it was funny, they didn't get along, but they both taught me different parts of what it meant to be a man. Mm-hmm. And so I was super close to my grandpa. He probably, I don't even know what he would have claimed, if he would have claimed a title within Christianity, a church or religion. I think he just would have said he was Christian, but I never saw him go to church. He wasn't Mormon. My parents, my mom was not raised Mormon. She converted when she married my dad. My dad grew up not active for the first 11 years of his life. And then they got activated when he was a teenager. And so my upbringing was very mixed on the religious side anyways. And then I've always been curious. And so bouncing around to different schools, meeting so many different people, I always got into religious conversations, even in elementary school. Mm-hmm. And so I remember this is probably 7th grade. One of my assignments for history class was studying Islam. So I read the Quran. I have this deep need to know why we got to where we're at. Why do people see things differently? Why do we interpret things differently? What the heck is going on? Mm-hmm. Because my experience in the LDS faith was something that you hear a lot in those circles is we have the only true, 100% true version of the church. Everybody else might be close, but we got it 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you know that?
Yeah.
And what about them makes them not right? And so I was always asking questions. I was always getting in debates. I was Charlie Kirk.
Oh, with religion. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like this.
Because I remember being in high school and being in the library, and I'd be talking to somebody and we'd both have our scriptures open, and then somebody else would come and join us and we'd be talking. And I was usually the odd man out. And so I kind of had to I either had to really believe what I believed, or I had to, like not be confident about it. And so getting into the history of, well, things like the Trinity. Why is it that the LDS faith believes that there is God, the Father, and then a separate entity that is Jesus Christ, and then a separate entity that is the Holy Ghost? 3 distinct personages, all unified in purpose.
Right.
Okay, well, that's one form of the Trinity. Most of Christendom looks at the Trinity and says, no, they're all one in everything. And then you get into the scriptures and you go, okay, well, if Jesus is getting baptized and they hear a voice that says, this is my son in whom I'm well pleased, and there's a dove that's supposed to be representative of the Holy Ghost, that's 3. So is Jesus like projecting his voice up into the heavens, and that's what's speaking down to it? Like how, what? Okay. And then you get into the history of it and you go, well, the Nicene Creed, which was 327 AD. I'm again off of probably a decade in the years, where a bunch of guys got together and they decided what books are in the Bible and what the Trinity is, and like some of the core foundational pieces of Christianity. But there's a reason why it differs from Catholicism, because Catholicism was already established, and they kind of set that precedent in the Nicene Creed for what those beliefs are. And then you have the Reformation with Calvin and Martin Luther and all these other people, where they break away from some of those beliefs, but not all of them. But it all circles back to the Nicene Creed, where a bunch of guys got together and decided what the gospel is, and that's not inspired.
Right.
So, but most people don't know that, or they find a way to defend it, which is the exact same thing that Mormons do. They find a way to defend things that are questionable. But we do that with all of our beliefs.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is. You end up thinking, well, if you're doing a glaze for your ham, it needs to have this much brown sugar and this much honey and this much of this, because that's the right way to do it. Okay, well, why?
Right.
You like it.
Yeah.
And you're going to defend it. It doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah.
It just means that it works for you.
Yeah.
I know it probably feels like I'm picking on or just focusing on Christianity. I did bring up Islam, right, that we studied that. The Quran and Judaism and atheism and Satanism, and like go down the list of religions. I've looked at, there's some, like, I haven't read the book of the devil or whatever Satanism would profess as their scripture. Although there is one scripture that I know out of theirs. It's come as a reaper, for thus will you sow, which I actually think lines up kind of well with the field is white already to harvest, which is don't think that's just LDS. I think that's in the Bible. Anyways, yeah. So it's amazing to me how many things, all the religions or lack of religions, like what do we as humanity still agree on?
Right.
And it feels like that's gotten really out of whack. And this is part of why I like history, right? Because you look back and you go, okay, well, you started off with small tribes. And then you were probably fighting with other tribes over resources, or you were trying to expand the power of your tribe by commingling with another tribe. And then you get up to the point where you're big enough to have cities. And then you're probably staying in a location, one, because you figured out agriculture and that's where the resources are. Then other bigger groups, just like you, want to take this. So like just the way that we've built society and how that, or the Old West, right? Like we're not having gunslinger showdowns in the middle of the main street, walk 12 paces and we're going to do this thing. Or we even had not honor killings. What was it called when, Aaron Burr and all those guys, we'd have duels, right? Like if you besmirch somebody's honor, we'll all see you tomorrow and we'll have a shoot off.
Yeah.
Like we don't do that not only do we not settle things through like death
Yeah.
anymore. But somewhere along the line, we lost the family focus.
Right.
And that really confuses me because, again, I think across religions and even when you get into being agnostic or atheist, I thought there was still like an understanding that family matters.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten way off track on that.
Sure.
And I think you can, again, going back to the Charlie Kirk stuff, like, okay, so you might not have agreed with him on his Christian perspective on things. That's fair. But why is talking about the importance of family a bad thing?
Right.
Seems to me like we've, as a society, become very self-focused, which is funny coming from a guy with a main character podcast because everybody is the main character. Like, yeah, we're all a little narcissistic. That's how it works. We should be self-interested. Absolutely 100%. But I'd love to hear your perspective on this. I almost think the difference is people that have kids and people that don't have kids. Because having kids, you realize real fast, oh, I'm not the center of attention anymore. And I'm going to be dead someday. The only way that my legacy gets carried on, unless I'm some, massively wealthy person that buys institutions and builds parks and does all these things where my name gets stamped on it, or I do something that's going to go down in the history books. What else creates permanence to who you were and leaving a lasting legacy? It's your kids,
Right.
and it's your grandkids, and it's your great grandkids. It is your posterity.
Right.
And so don't you want you to carry on?
Right.
Yeah. And I want it to be good. And so
Yeah.
I want to train up my kids to be the best people that they possibly can be. And I want to be able to help influence their children, my grandkids. And so I cannot wait to be a grandparent.
Oh, don't say that.
I know.
Before you know it.
It will. I know. We were doing the math and it's like, okay, Gabe's 14. Well, shoot, if he would be getting married in 5 years if he followed my path. He would be having kids in 11 years if he followed my path. But he could do it, both of those things sooner, technically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like him to hold off a little bit.
Yeah.
But it will be here sooner than I realize.
So since this is your podcast, I know you've talked about Charlie Kirk a couple times. I know you want to dive into that. I just want to hear a little bit about your kids.
Oh, my kids.
Not a little bit. I want to hear all about them because they are such a great part of you and who you are and Rachel together. So
I love that.
Let's hear about your kids.
Let's talk about my kiddos. Okay, and let me preface the kiddo thing. Fill in a little bit more of the history because this is important. So we get married. We have all this craziness go down with our parents. I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on with my folks. We even housed my dad for a little bit. That didn't work out. We kicked him out. We're going to trial downtown Seattle, huge justice building. We're on like the 40th floor or whatever with this nasty judge and all these reporters in the room and a nasty prosecutor. And like, we're dealing with all this crap. Somewhere in the mix of that, I decide I want to join a band.
Okay.
Seems like the logical thing to do.
You guys could only see around right now. You would understand.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I should pan the camera around. In fact, you know what? We're doing that right now. You guys are going to see my drum set since I haven't shown it off at all. We talk about it. Drum set.
Perfect.
Right,
We're good.
Can you still see my pretty face? Yeah, we can still see everything. Okay, that works. I hope you guys enjoyed the drum set.
It is freaking awesome.
It's so fun. Well,
I
and
don't
it was.
I think it has a fingerprint on it. Like it's so clean.
Actually probably needs a clean. It's got those
That is your
drumsticks.
baby.
When you hit stuff, you get like little. It's like being in a workshop. There's little pieces of wood everywhere. I need a vacuum. Really bad. Anyways, okay, enough about the drum set. So we get married, and we had agreed because we knew we were getting married young. We're gonna wait 5 years to have kids. Our brains aren't even fully developed yet, right? 25 is when your brains are fully developed. So let's do the responsible thing. We love each other. Let's spend time together. Make sure this is gonna work. Young marriages typically don't. We'll have kids in 5 years. In the meantime, I joined a band, and we're touring around, and we have a development deal with Atlantic. And we're working with Jeff Blue, who produced Linkin Park, and we're feeling it.
Yeah.
We're feeling ourselves real
Going
good.
places.
We're going places. There's like, we were down in Austin at South by Southwest, and there was a radio contest to win 2 Playboy tickets to go to the Playboy party.
Oh, Jesus.
My guitarist, Matt, who might be one of the luckiest people on this planet. If he wants to win something, he wins it. He calls in, he wins. We get 2 Playboy tickets. Young men in a band that get to go to the Playboy party. There's 4 of us and only 2 tickets. So we're all like, Matt, you got to take me. No, Matt, you got to take me. Matt ends up taking the lead singer of another band that had just toured with Nickelback. And it was like, we're going to buy some cachet and we're going to get in good with this group. And sure enough, that's how we got our development deal, because we pleased the right people.
Right.
Then they're going down and they're at a Jay Leno recording, and then they go to an after party and they're with Quentin Tarantino and all these other people. And so like there was fun stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
We were starting to and trying to live this rock star lifestyle. Yeah. Rock star lifestyle doesn't work with family.
No.
And so we're just hitting our stride. I remember we went down to do South by Southwest again, and all these record label people were going to, like, there were going to be like 4 or 5 of them watching us to decide who gets to sign us to a full deal. And I remember playing my heart out and knowing I'm quitting as soon as I get off the stage, because we had reached the 5-year mark and I wanted to have kids. And it was, I can keep pursuing this. And honestly, it probably would have led to me and Rachel breaking up, or I can go start a family. And so that is how important family is to me.
Oh,
I had the thing I wanted for me.
Sure.
But even more, I wanted my family.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so Gabe knows this next part. I think it's hilarious. We take a trip down to Disneyland and we conceive Gabe in the most magical place on earth.
That's awesome.
He says it's one of his favorite stats to give people when he's like, yeah, you want to know where I was conceived?
The most magical place.
Well, and it explains him, because Gabe is magical. I love Gabe. End up having him. We buy our first home. We're doing like the family thing. And you look back at the pictures of us in that time frame. You saw our baby pictures, not baby pictures, but when I was a senior.
Your senior photos.
We looked
included Rachel.
so bad at that phase of our life. Like, Rachel had really short hair at one point and looked like, and I was overweight and didn't look, I mean, we both didn't look good. We looked like we had reached our 40s already. But it was fun. And we don't know what we're doing, right? No new parent knows what they're doing. And so with Gabe, we were definitely more strict, and he was a really tough baby. Most people, their first is easy. Mm-hmm. Was Titan easy? No. But you still decided to have more.
I know.
And so that's what we tell the other 3 all the time is, you guys are lucky that you're here, because your oldest brother is a pain in the ass. With
that being said, Titan was definitely the easiest, though.
Oh, yeah?
Now, yeah, they just got harder. He wasn't easy, but they got worse.
You haven't gotten a break? But you love your kids, and they are fantastic. Your kids are fantastic.
You. Yeah, they love you.
And so let's hear, what's Gabe's 14, Cam's going to be 11. So there's like 3.5 years between them. That's longer than we wanted. We definitely tried to have Camden earlier. Wasn't working. Finally had him. And then the gap between him and Thatcher is 1.5 years, a little over 1.5 years. And then Mel, because Thatcher went through cancer, we were scared. We didn't, for a while there, we weren't sure we wanted to have more. Sure. But we really wanted a girl. Mm-hmm. And got lucky enough, we got our girl. And so there's 10 years between Gabe and Sue. And actually, interestingly, I just interviewed them for my 31st episode. They're one of those 2. And it was great, because their little personalities come out. And I'm sure if you guys have suffered through that episode, I appreciate it, because some of it's rough, because you're dealing with a soft-spoken little girl that we talk about our favorite color. And then Thatch and Cam are just, boys that like to play video games. Gabe's portion of the episode is awesome because you get a deep dive with a teenager. Like he's very intelligent, very thoughtful, very growth minded. And it's weird being a parent and trying to maintain that level of I'm still the parent, but I also really hope I'm raising somebody that I want to be a friend for my entire life. Somebody that I want to hang out with, somebody that I enjoy as a person. And so Gabe's already there, but I have to I'm still dad. I can't just try and be the cool friend because that is not the right way to go in my opinion. But so I have to do both, which is fun.
Crushing it. Your kids are all great.
They are fantastic. Sometimes
they're
they drive
sitting
me
downstairs
crazy.
Right now playing together. That's beautiful.
Is that good? That's a good thing? Okay.
How
all right.
freaking sweet is that? My kids hate each other.
Do they really?
No, my daughters don't like each other at all.
Oh.
Rebel likes Sky. Sky doesn't like Rebel. So
has it always been that way?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and that's one of the things I ask everybody.
Once the newness wears off real quick, which it did in no time.
Oh man. Yeah.
Poor Rebel. She just loves everybody.
Well, and you said, if I remember correctly, in your episode, that Rebel lives up to her namesake.
Yeah, she does, but I know she's the best. I'll just leave it there.
We'll leave it there.
We'll say she's my favorite.
Yeah. Well, and you aren't supposed to have favorites.
That's fine.
I definitely have had favorites.
Yeah, it switches though, doesn't it?
It does switch. Yeah. Which one's listening?
Oh God.
Which one isn't giving me trouble right now?
And I'm like, which one of them is going to be listening right now to this point? I'm like, all right, well, Rebel's my favorite. For sure. I can say that.
Yeah, and I have had to check myself on that because Gabe was a pain in the ass. And Camden was so easy. And I very distinctly remember when we had Camden being terrified that, I'm not going to love the second one. I love the first one, right? Like, how do I give some of that love that I have for the first one to the second one? Oh, no. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
It grows.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I always felt like the Grinch, right? Like my heart just grows more sizes every time I have a kid.
Yeah. And then they hug each other and then you're like, oh, I'm so full and whole.
Oh, it's so good. It's
great.
I was having a really rough morning Thursday. And I keep bouncing in Charlie Kirk stuff.
We're going to go back. I'm going to tackle that next.
I know we are. We, the video of him and the video of Irina, the young Ukrainian gal that got murdered on the bus, the train, whatever it was. Those images are awful, right? Those are seared into my brain now. But what kept waking me up was I watched a ton of videos of Charlie Kirk with his kids, his daughter running up to him and all that stuff. And just I was devastated. And Milena, I don't know how she does this. That girl has perfect timing and perfect empathy or just sense of what's going on. I'm in here. She wakes up. She comes around the corner and she yells, "Daddy!" And she comes up and she throws her arms around my neck. And I had told Rachel earlier that morning, I've got all these feelings. I'm mad. I'm sad. I'm all these things. I don't know. And I feel like I need to cry, but it's not coming. I can't get it out.
Right.
As soon as Sue threw her arms around me, I bawled.
Oh, you needed your baby.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I love, and this is why I would say have kids and have more than one.
Yeah.
Have kids.
Yeah.
Because you're given 50% of your DNA to this thing, right? And all four of our kids, it's 50-50. That's how that works. They're all different. They all got different parts of us.
Yeah.
And it's a really good reflection of who you are. It teaches you patience. It teaches you love. It teaches you all. It helps you grow and bridge the gap in the areas that you really need it.
Sure.
And that's what my four kids have done for me. And then it's fun because you do recognize certain parts of yourself in the kids, and it's, okay, this is going to be trouble. I've already had to deal with this. I gotta hopefully bring them up so that becomes a strength instead of a weakness.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it is fun to see those things. I know exactly what you're I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm like, oh shit.
Well, and I love when Rachel and I look at each other when one of them has done something and it's like, that's you. What are you talking about? That's you.
Yeah. Shifting blame.
Yeah. Okay, fine. It's both of us. They got a double helping of whatever that thing is.
So you're done.
Well, even Gabe the other day, he looked at Rachel and I and he goes, you need another one. We need another one. We just had mochis. Like, I'll take another mochi.
Oh, yeah.
No, another kid. Have another kid. And then Sue gets excited. We get another baby? No. I would have 10 more. I love kids.
Right.
But Rachel's pushing 40.
Right.
And we've gotten to a point like Sue's going to be, well, maybe. I don't know if we're going to put her in public school or not. That kind of terrifies me because she's so innocent and so sweet. And kids are mean anyways, but I feel like girls are even meaner. And so that kind of terrifies me. But yeah, I would have kids for forever, but I think we're done.
Maybe you have an oopsie.
Yeah, maybe we have an oopsie. Maybe. I've been trying.
Good for you. All right. We're going to dive into Charlie Kirk now. It's something you brought up so many times now. This is so important to you. And it is the time for it, just with everything that's happening and it just being so recent.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's why, because I always like how with my podcasts, because I'm reading stuff and I'm studying stuff and I'm learning stuff. I'm reading books. I'm reading too much social media, but I like to think I've curated it so it's helpful information. That there's always something relevant for each of my episodes. And it's like, man, if I hadn't read that just yesterday. Mm-hmm. And so I love one of my core beliefs, one of the things that I've in leaving the church, in re-examining every part of my life, something I very firmly believe is that everything happens the way it's supposed to. And I love the synchronicities and the timing of everything in life. That being said, I was not expecting what happened to Charlie Kirk to happen. I'm so interested in religion. I love history. I love politics. I love the workings of everything in the world and trying to figure it all out. And we live in a great country, and there's a lot wrong with it. There's a lot that keeps going wrong in it. But when you look at the history of civilizations and countries and nations throughout time, this American experiment's really cool, right? It recognized that we all have individual worth and rights, and that doesn't come from the state. It doesn't come from anything other than our Creator. And the ability to be able to have our own individual thoughts and ideas and voice them is really powerful. And one of the reasons it's so powerful is because we all have them, but so often throughout history, if you voiced those things, you got killed because it was a danger to the state. I mean, right? Look at the life of Jesus. He pissed off the religious group that he was a part of, and he pissed off the state, and they killed him for it. And you can look at that throughout history, right? There's plenty of examples of that. How dare you say we're not the center of the universe? We don't revolve around the sun. The sun revolves around us. We're going to kill you. Like, it's some kind of crazy stuff. And so to have somebody that, yeah, you may not agree with him, but he didn't deserve to die.
No.
The young Ukrainian woman, Irina, she should be able to get on public transportation after working a job at a pizza parlor, after escaping war in Ukraine, and feel safe. She shouldn't have to worry about the person sitting behind her and if they're going to stab her in the neck and then nobody's going to come to her aid for 2 minutes. Oh, she's already gone. Mm-hmm. That's madness.
Yeah.
One of the things that I appreciate most about being in Coeur d'Alene is it's a high trust society. I feel safe here. Mm-hmm. I can let my kids go. They can go to the park that's a good 5-10 minute walk away, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That wasn't true over on the west side. So what's different?
Right.
And people ask me all the time, well, why? Because I was working in Spokane a lot, and that's where I'm based out of. Why didn't you just stay on the Washington side? Why don't you work in Spokane? Or why don't you live in Spokane? If I was getting out of Washington, Western Washington, I was getting the fuck out of Washington.
Where I am.
Because their policies don't support families. Whereas in Idaho, it feels like we still care.
Right.
And we're going to punish crime. And like, do we have the most funding for things? No, because we don't tax nearly as much as the other states. But the outcomes still work.
Yep.
So I think the reaction to Charlie Kirk's been interesting because you have a lot of people that are like, well, what do I might not have agreed with him, but I appreciate what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people, and I'm shocked by the number of people that are, oh, it's a good thing he died. Now we need to go after his wife and kids. Don't stop there. I hope the bullet didn't get hurt. Like all sorts of just awful things.
I have yet to read one of those things. But I think it's because we live in Coeur d'Alene and I haven't done more of a deep dive other than just seeing just a overwhelming amount of support and just for his family and grief throughout everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and I was kind of bummed because I think they had a vigil at McEwen, maybe.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about it. Otherwise I would have gone down there because again, I woke up the next morning with like, I could feel it physically in my chest. And I knew it was all the combination of all those emotions, but it just felt like somebody had just like shoved something in there and I didn't know what the heck to do with it.
Yeah.
And I've said this to multiple people. Conservatives are not rioters and fanatics by nature, right? They're conservative. Mm-hmm. And I'm not conservative. I if anything, I'm libertarian. I have a very like, go do your thing. Whatever you want. I don't care what you do. Just don't hurt other people. And then that gets into fuzzy, like how did the politics work in that when somebody wants to be who they are in a public setting? Well, that's important. Again, First Amendment. I also don't want my kids being read to by a guy in drag. And
sure.
Right. Like, so there, I definitely have a line of no, like you can go do that in your home. Mm-hmm. Go do that with your group that wants to do it. Don't subject my kids to that.
Right.
So I definitely have a line. Where was I going with all that? But yeah, it would have been nice to go. Community is important because you all get to experience and express things in a like fashion. And it would have been nice to be able to go down to the vigil.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and I was watching videos of vigils around the country and one was in Seattle and there were people on the outskirts yelling all sorts of nasty things. And we're not burning down cities. We're holding a prayer vigil for somebody that got assassinated. And again, you may not agree with any of his views, but that doesn't mean that he deserved to die.
Yeah. Who the hell takes the time out of their day to even say anything negative in a prayer says, that's crazy. I think it's wild that this video is everywhere that it is.
Yeah.
Like that is mind blowing and just devastating that it just keeps getting reposted. Like I couldn't, maybe it's my fault that I haven't censored my kids from YouTube or whatever, but my daughter saw it, and like that's just devastating. And I can just imagine how his wife feels, how his kids feel, how his family feels, like how his friends feel, like, and just to know they can't even get on the internet without seeing that video, just
right.
That's just like, have some respect. Like, get it off. Let's quit watching it. That being said, I've watched it.
Right.
And I've watched it again.
Yes.
Like, but it's, and I hate that too. It also feels to me that there's so many people that don't know him.
Right.
But everybody is so devastated.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know one single person that's like, yep, fuck that guy. I don't know one person that's like that. I know people that have like just cried and been devastated about it. Why do you think that is? Like as a nation, really?
Well, so I had this conversation with my best friend who's other end of the political spectrum as I am. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons why we are best friends is because we love and respect each other. Mm-hmm. And so we can have differing opinions and, we'll do the classic. This is one of my favorite moves. Talking about Ben. Yep. The other Ben. I have multiple Bens in my life.
Okay.
Not brother-in-law Ben.
Oh, okay.
And he we'll do the classic, okay, this is what I'm seeing, and this is what my algorithm is feeding me. What are you seeing?
Right.
Right. And so I've always kind of thought, okay, we're looking at the same event, but we're getting fed different takes on it, right? Because of the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm becoming more convinced that we are seeing different events and being fed different information because of the algorithm. So, and I'm going to get really political here, but when you have the left saying things like, yep, Biden said this, the most dangerous thing in this nation is white men. Can't remember exactly how he said it. White nationalists, he called out white men. And then you've got commentators and you have more politicians and you have all these people. Yep, they're evil. Yep, they're Nazis. Yep, they're bad people. We don't get a fight in world wars anymore, right? Like we've been endlessly at war with 9/11 and all the stuff that we do in the Middle East and everything else. And so, but we as a nation don't really feel that, like the mass mobilization we had to have in World War I and World War II, right? Or even Vietnam, when there's drafting and all the other crazy stuff going on. So I feel like we're removed from actual fighting, which is why we get to kind of focus on these outskirt issues that now divide us. And because of that, when we're just inundated with Nazis. Oh my gosh, how bad were they? And we were so good to go over there and kick their asses. If you have nothing else going on in life, which is what a lot of our Gen Zs and younger, and even millennials have to deal with, right? They can't afford houses anymore. They aren't having children. They aren't getting married.
Mm-hmm.
We've become so self-focused that you need something to feel maybe alive, but important. And this other side, this thing that is apart from me is evil, and I can do something about it. I think it helps people justify all the hatred, right? And also, we've been telling everybody for so long that your feelings are important. The way that you want to express yourself is important. It is all about you. And then when somebody like Charlie Kirk comes along and says, well, Christian values are important, and actually we are a Christian nation. And I mean, there's a ton of reasons why that is true. I was watching a clip of his where he said that 12 out of the 13 original colony states in their state's constitution, it said something along the lines of accepting Jesus as Savior. So it was in the Constitution if you wanted to be a member of that state. Mm-hmm. And then those states come together and they form our nation. And there's and most of those were very Protestant based, and all the people that were coming over to, be able to live the religion that they wanted to. So yeah, in a lot of ways we are a Christian nation, even if that isn't necessarily in our Constitution. So I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here. But when he's espousing that, and he's very respectfully, against trans indoctrination and some of these other things, if that is how you identify, I understand why it would feel like a threat on your life, especially because you've been told that you're special and how important you are. And now you have these people that are trying to expunge that. And we have not done great as a nation, right? Like, look at Black history in this country. It's terrible. I mean, up through Jim Crow, it's awful. I've said this multiple times on the podcast, but I think it's just a wild example. My grandmother was divorced, married my grandpa. And when they would go over to my great grandfather's house for dinner, he would go into the basement because it wasn't acceptable to be around a divorcee. Well, that's stupid too, right? And so my aunt, I don't know if she's my aunt, my second cousin, first cousin once removed, whatever she is, my mother's cousin, she's been a lesbian her entire life. And so I'm sure that was tough in the 70s and the 80s and probably up through the 90s because we didn't show a lot of love and respect towards gay people,
sure.
Right? So I understand that we as a country have not done a very good job of loving everybody and accepting everybody. I also see that viewpoint of, well, as soon as you accept this thing, it's going to be that you need to accept this thing. And then it needs to be that you accept this thing. Well, I don't think some kid in school that wants to identify as a cat should be able to meow their answers back to the teacher. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a cat at home. Here,
you're here to learn.
Yeah, and you're a person, so you have to act like a person.
Yeah.
And so again, right, like where's that individual liberty and right to be who you are, and also being a good citizen within that thing? And so Charlie did a really good job of going around on these college campuses that are, especially in the last few decades, very leftist, very progressive, and opening people's minds to something that maybe they hadn't been exposed to before, but that doesn't mean it was hate.
Right.
And so I went off on like 5 different tangents in there and lost sight of what the original question was, but that's where I ended up.
I want to know why you think all of these people don't know who Charlie Kirk is.
Oh.
But yet everybody is experiencing
feeling
the same feeling.
Okay, so I think the reason so many, and this is why I brought in Ben, because in that conversation with Ben, he did say, well, he's not a martyr. And I thought, whoa. Because to me, this feels on par with MLK, with Malcolm X, with JFK, with Bobby Kennedy, with any of these people that have been assassinated really for having differing beliefs and thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Ben, okay, well, to 50% of the people in this country, he is a martyr. Mm-hmm. And so MLK, how many people was he a martyr for? Well, certainly minorities and anybody that was progressive in that time frame. Because to me, I look at MLK and go, yeah, absolutely. Like people should be judged off of the content of their character and not by the color of their skin. Absolutely. Like that's just common sense.
Yeah.
And so I think the reason why there's so many people that feel affected by Charlie Kirk is, one, it was very visible, right? You were just saying how many times have we seen the video? Every time it pops up, I do my best to go, okay, no, I can't see this again. I can't. Oh, shoot. Okay, baby, I'm going to watch it one more time.
Yeah.
And part of that's almost like I want that feeling to still be alive of how pissed off I am about it. Because I think there's power there that I don't want to go away. Ben also asked, well, why don't we have the same outpouring and the same feeling for the kids that get killed in school shootings?
Yeah.
Well, and I think logically we do. It's hard to have the same visceral reaction when we aren't seeing it on video over and over and over again.
Sure.
And I don't want that. I don't want to see dead kids. That's
no.
I'm glad. And if it was my kids, I wouldn't want their videos put. You were just saying like his wife and kids and everybody else they're having to see the videos over and over and over again. That's awful. But I think because it is so in our face, it's hard not to have a reaction. So I think that's why so many people are reacting that way. And because like that's, especially here in North Idaho, a lot of people identify with Charlie Kirk. Like, yeah, I'm a family man. Yeah, I do believe these things. Yeah, I do think that I should be able to speak my mind without having to worry about getting shot. And so I think it's just really relatable. Both Irina and Charlie hit me hard because I look at Irina's was awful because that video came out and it didn't show when she got stabbed at first, right? But it did show the guy walking back and forth and blood dripping from him. And I'm like, why is nobody concerned about this? If I saw some dude and there was blood dripping from him, I'd either be worried for him or worried about what he did. No reaction from anybody. And he's saying, I got that white girl. I got that white girl. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then the full video came out where she's just sitting there. He's like contemplating it, getting the knife out, stands up and then goes for her. And there's like this image of her curled up with this look of terror on her face. And I think it was both terror and shock because I don't think she realized what had just happened to her.
Yeah.
And the dad in me comes out and it's, if somebody did that to my little girl, if somebody did that to you, if somebody did that to anybody that I care about, there's nothing that could prevent me from getting vengeance.
For sure.
And that person deserves every bad thing that's going to come his way. You get arrested 14 times and released 14 times. That is a failure of society. And that can't stand. Something's got to get fixed there.
Yeah.
And so it makes me angry about the way that our politics have gone. It makes me sad that we as a nation are okay with that living among us. We shouldn't be. And so that got the dad coming out of me. And then the husband and the father came out of me watching Charlie of going, you just widowed his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I've seen it enough times that it still impacts me. There's a thing going around saying that his daughter was so scared of the sound that she wanted to run to him. And that like breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And so I think about my kids being left behind, my wife being left behind, and what that would do to them, all the things that I would miss. And so I'm getting like this. So both of those are impacting me because I can put myself in those positions. And I think that's why, to answer your question, why so many people are having a reaction to it. It's because it's real, and it's something that we can insert ourselves into.
Yeah. I just think like 9/11 was so sad, right? Like I get it. And it was sad, but I didn't shed a tear about it. And maybe it's just because I was, younger, or even like things around me that have happened. Like I don't feel the sadness that I've experienced with Charlie, just thinking about that. And I think that if I'm experiencing that, and it sounds like everybody else is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I saw a video of him that he put out, and I posted it on my social media. It was I think it was like the day that I found out he had passed away. It was, somebody said like, how would you want to be remembered if you died? And he was like, if I died, like he's he wanted to be remembered for his courage and faith. And I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that that's the one thing that everybody should remember and think of, and like that's how we should honor him, not by these awful videos, not by those things. Gosh, I agree with that. Just thinking about how that would leave your kids, like that is devastating and so traumatizing.
It's awful. Well, and I'm not going to put myself even
what
remotely
on
the same level
gosh.
as Charlie, because he didn't go to college. He started that off as an 18-year-old, had this idea and made something massive of it, right? He was actually making a difference. And to the core of what he was doing was an exchange of ideas, right? And that's what I like to do on this podcast is I want to know, like, this is a platform for anybody and everybody. And I don't care what your viewpoint is, but it's so important that we start dialoguing with one another. And tell me about your experience. Why do you believe the things that you do? Because we all feel justified in what we believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this became more front of mind as much as it already was, even more so for me, with me having to go through looking at all of my beliefs over the last few years, is why do I believe the things I do? Okay, well, a lot of that comes from when I was a kid, obviously, right? You're getting programmed as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up 9/11, and I know I've said this on this podcast. I was 15 when 9/11 happened. 14, 15, 14, about to turn 15. And like the nation came together, and like I just remember all the things about 9/11 and what that felt like. And that was actually a waking up point for me, because my house had been all Fox News, all Rush Limbaugh, all George Bush, all that stuff. And then examining it over the years and over the decades since and going, okay, that official story is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've been in forever wars in the Middle East ever since. So I grew up very right wing. Okay, well, again, why are some people seeing it from the other side?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't grow up in the same environment as me, obviously, all these things. So I say all that to say that it's so fun looking at how did you get to the reality, to the beliefs that you have now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of what Charlie was doing, right? And helping to expose people to two ideas that they had never heard before. Yeah. And so I think that's another reason why it's hitting me different, is just because I value that so much. I could have a conversation with anybody from any walk of life on anything, and it's going to be respectful because I haven't walked in their shoes.
Right.
I have no idea.
Right.
And if Charlie was doing what the people that are, celebrating his death said that he did, where it's, oh, he was racist. He hated people. Show me where he hated people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I always come back, and this is why I'm in the scriptures more than ever. The 2 great commandments are love God and love each other as you love yourself.
Yeah.
And so if everybody had that as their core tenet, I think this world would be a much better place.
Right.
It would certainly be more respectful.
Yeah.
We'd at least listen to the other person instead of assuming or damning or hating.
Yeah. Brandon, why a podcast?
Why a podcast? Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, so actually,
I want to know.
This is going to require some self-examination.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you have all this nice equipment here, right? Like you've spent a ton of money on all this. Like I can only assume.
Yeah, it wasn't inexpensive.
Well, yeah, but there's some reason that you wanted, not even just the fact that you spent all this money on this equipment. I want to know why, like what inspired you in your head? There's so many people that do podcasts.
Yeah.
There's so many people that, I mean, odds are against you already
Of course.
starting out.
Yeah.
But you're not even doing it for that. You're doing it for something within you.
Yes. And thank you for saying that. Because I have said since I started this that I could do this for the rest of my life, and I hope that I get to. And it never become a mainstream thing. It could stay, small little organic thing for the rest of the life of it, and I would be just as pleased. I hope it gets bigger, but I'd be fine if it didn't. So there's a lot of different answers to that question. Damn it, Brittany.
Let's hear them all. We got time.
So I started, the most immediate thing is I if you ask any kid nowadays, and when I interviewed the kids, both the middle ones, Camden and Thatcher, said this: what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an influencer. I want to have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if you ask any Gen Z or younger, they all want to be influencers of some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I watched my father-in-law, who he started with local seminars, and then he had seminars all across the country. And he did a lot of radio, and he 4 times New York Times bestselling author. He was somebody that people listened to. I mentioned Rush Limbaugh or any of these talking heads, right? There's like, why do people listen to these people? Oh, well, they're entertaining, they're informative, they're all those different things. My father-in-law, I'm going to misquote him. The gist of what he said was he was told by a professional, like somebody who ran radio stations, that he had the perfect voice for radio.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. He had a wonderful voice, because there's something about your pitch and tone and all that like you have to be built for it. Because there's some people that get on and you're like, you got to like work on the audio or just can't handle that voice. And so I thought I was kind of built for that because I was exposed to it. I remember going with my father-in-law to a couple radio shows that he did and just seeing how that worked behind the scenes. And I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the prevalence of podcasts is amazing. It's I tried a YouTube channel. I tried doing a dash cam on my 4Runner. My original intent behind that YouTube channel was making fun of bad drivers. I've said for a while now that it would, if I had one wish, I just want to teach the world how to drive. I think driving tells a lot about who you are as a person, right? Are you aggressive? Are you chill? Are you lackadaisical? Are you super zeroed in on what you're doing? Or like driving reveals who you are. And I like making fun of bad drivers because I think I'm amazing. But I found that was really negative. And it was really, I could record for my drive here to Spokane and all the driving that I did in between, and I would get maybe 30 to 60 minutes of good content over the course of a week. And it was just way too much work, way too much editing, and negative tone because I'm making fun of people.
Right.
So I did that for a little bit, and then I gave it up. And I'm thinking I still need to like get my thoughts out there, and I would like something that kind of takes off, but it actually doesn't have, like, that's the wrong intent when you do something like this anyways. If you do something that you love, that's a success right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And I love talking with people.
That's awesome.
And so it all just kind of came together. And so I think right time, right place, right? All the synchronicities and all that stuff in life. And I was able to convince Rachel to let me buy all the really nice equipment because it is good stuff. Like audio board is the industry standard. These are good mics, although I've been told that I should probably switch out the mics. So I'm sorry that you get to hear my voice so funky. But I figured it could double for recording music and some other stuff. So I had ulterior motives on top of it, but I thought I would be good at it. And I say this to everybody. I could grab anybody and have a good, meaningful conversation because everybody has lived life's worth revealing and sharing.
So I don't even have to ask you if you could do something every day for the rest of your life and money wasn't an issue. And you can't say like, oh, I would just hang out with my kids. Like, don't do that. Don't be that guy.
I wouldn't because I love them, but I don't think I could spend 24/7 with them. I'm really glad school's back in session. It would be the podcast. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it would. I mean, besides exactly what you said, it would be spending time with my family. It would be, I'd probably be out fishing or something on top of it, playing some golf. But yeah, if I could do something meaningful outside of just my family, it would be this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you do this and that you love it and all the different kinds of people that you bring on this podcast.
Yeah.
And that you can find common ground with everybody.
Yeah.
Really interesting. That's cool. And talk to them for as long as you do as well. I'm like, wow. Like I would have gave up, I think, on a couple, but I was like, but then you keep talking. I'm like, oh, I understand why you keep doing this podcast. And you just learn so much about so many people.
Yeah. And
you just do such a deep dive into why they are the way they are.
Well, Joe Rogan made the point that, right, because there's are you an expert in that thing? How dare you have an opinion about that thing? Uh-huh. Guess what? We get to have an opinion about anything and everything.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of how this gig works. But he's a UFC guy, right? He loves the fighting aspect of everything, and he's damn good at it. But even within that small niche, there's people that know more than he does, right? And I had a guest on a couple episodes ago. His name's Jim. And he got into how he loves to photograph lighthouses. And then he said between the US and Canada, there's 1,000 lighthouses, and he's visited 350 of them. That's freaking, not only do you get to see some of the prettiest parts of the world, right, by traveling around and seeing these lighthouses, he does beautiful photography. He gave me some of the history behind lighthouses, all that stuff. I wouldn't have known, like, I like lighthouses. I'm probably not going to go out and become an expert in lighthouses. And I'm probably only ever going to be able to visit 30, 40, 50 of them in my life because that's not going to be my focus. But I kind of get to live vicariously through him and his joy and fascination with that thing. That's everybody with something. And so I love that I'm only, just over 30 episodes into this thing. And I've had some people that are like way different ways of thinking.
Yeah.
One of my other previous guests, he listened to a couple of the episodes and he's like, I didn't agree with anything that those guys said. And then it made me question whether I should come on and talk to you. And so I thanked him for still being willing to go through with it. And he was very excited that he did because we had a phenomenal conversation. And he goes, but I couldn't figure you out. He's like, and that was part of the problem is I didn't know what I was walking into. I'm like, I definitely have my beliefs. I definitely have the way that I see the world. But again, I only know that that's true because I've tested it out through my, in the scheme of things, limited way of being able to test out how this life works. And so I think that I have some things right. And I know that I have some things that I probably still need to refine. But that doesn't mean that I am right.
Right.
It just means that my mother-in-law said this the other day. She goes, I really don't like the phrase my truth. Like, I get it. Right? Because then people use that to justify all sorts of different things. And I do think there is a capital T truth. I do think there are things that are foundational that if you don't believe in that, then I'd still want to know why, but I think truth is truth. But then we all do have our truth because you have your own individual experience that has cemented in you that thing is true.
Right.
And So yeah, how do I expose myself to as many of those viewpoints and expose the audience to as many of those viewpoints as possible? And it's not by me debating the person on the other side and trying to tell them why they're wrong or trying to convince them otherwise. It's by them being able to feel safe enough to express who they are and why they got there.
And you listen.
And I listen.
So how are you going to keep this going? Like, who do you want to reach next? Like,
Ooh.
who do you want to interview?
Okay, so my my dream interview, one of these days, I would love to interview Dave Grohl. Okay. Only because he's had so much impact on me. Like I just want to meet him once, shake his hand and say thank you. Because he's ended up becoming a oddly big part of my family, and he doesn't know who the fuck I am. So it'd be nice to be able to just say thank you and that's the other thing. I love how impact works, right? Is it Pay It Forward? Is that the movie? But that concept of like, just do a kind act and you never know how that reverberates out through everything. Your life has so much impact that you never get to see. So just try and do your best. That's my message to everybody. So I'd love to interview Dave.
We're not there yet.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry. Was that my megaphone moment? I'll come up with something else brilliant. But yeah, he would be good. I've had multiple people now, including Terry, who have said, Blue. What's it? Blue.
Yes. He's great.
Yeah. He would be fun to have on.
Yes. I'm going to reach out to him.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he gets it from enough people, hey, you need to go on this podcast. I'm okay. No, you need to go on this podcast. Oh man, I've heard it from 3 or 4 people.
God,
Maybe
you guys
I need to
love each other. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it would be good. So I would love to have him on.
He's fantastic.
The answer to that is anybody and everybody. I do think for like logistically, it would be nice the more people that have more of an audience. There's Daryl Cooper does the Martyr Made podcast. And he's kind of become both famous and infamous because like he's been on Tucker Carlson. He's been on Joe Rogan. He's like, and I feel like small fries. He lives here. I don't know if he's in Sandpoint or if he's here in Coeur d'Alene, but he's somewhere up here. I would love to have him on. And so some of the logistics of that is, okay, you get a big name and that's going to help the podcast grow. And so again, I don't think that's not for there's some monetary things that would be nice. But I think the mission of this podcast is important, and I want it to reach more people. I want more people exposed to more ideas.
Right.
And so I think it would be nice to have some people that have a little bit bigger audience that can help grow this audience. But the passionate part of the answer is anybody and everybody. My next door neighbor. Like I want anybody that wants to get on to come tell their story.
Tell me something about yourself that nobody else knows.
Oh gosh.
Okay, maybe Rachel. That's fair. I would hope Rachel would know.
About me that no one else knows.
Or they would be shocked to hear this about you.
Okay, well, this is a fun one. I'm going to come up with something way more exciting than this. But I'm officiating my 3rd wedding on Saturday.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You are the perfect person for that. That is so wonderful.
It's fun. I officiated my cousin's wedding. That was the first one. They're about to have their 2nd baby. And so I like to say that I'm 2 of 2 so far because both marriages are doing great. Second one was my sister-in-law with her hubby, Shane. And now I'm officiating my niece's wedding.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So but I feel like I'm such an open book that like, I feel like there should be some deep, dark thing that I need to reveal because that was a really good question. I don't know. I talk too much, so I don't know. I'm sure there's something in there.
Well, we can cut all this part out so you can think about it.
Yeah, I'll think of something.
Yeah, you got to come up with something cool, Brandon. This is your podcast.
You know what one that always cracks me up, because again, I talk politics with just about everybody and people know where I stand. And especially because growing up so conservative, I almost voted for Obama the first time. that gets people going, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he was saying hope and change, and that sounded really good after the Bush years. This one's interesting. This is interesting, and I don't know if a lot of people know this. growing up Mormon, getting married, living the Mormon lifestyle during those band years, not the best example of that.
Okay.
I was drinking, smoked a little bit. That led to the first point where Rachel and I almost got divorced, because she was very much on the straight and narrow, very black and white, and I was hiding it from her. And when she found out that I was drinking, she was inconsolable. I had broken that trust.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no worse feeling in the world than breaking the trust of somebody that you love. And I just remember her bawling in bed, and I wanted to go comfort her, and I couldn't because it was my fault.
Right.
So, yeah, maybe that.
Well, that's not a good one. I thought it'd be,
you wanted something exciting?
Yes.
We talked about jumping out of planes on your episode. I'm a nerd. I play Magic the Gathering. I don't know. I'm sure there's something exciting that nobody knows about.
Well, you did bring up
me.
Obama, so I have one thing about myself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not really myself, I guess. But talking about Obama.
Yeah.
My dad ran for U.S. Senate alongside Obama.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
Like at the same time or against him?
Yep. No, with him. Right
him.
alongside him.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Is
amazing. Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't where I was standing. But I was also 18, so I don't really know where I was standing.
Well,
either.
yeah. Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of cool that my dad was doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that does, I don't necessarily agree with the way that our democratic republic has shifted into not being a democratic republic, it feels like. And then you've got people that are in office for forever and a half. We should have term limits. It feels like a lot of offices go to the highest bidder. Who are your donors? What games have you played? Right? Politics is just nasty. Mm-hmm. But that being said, it is impressive to be able to move up the ranks within politics and be able to do that. And especially Obama, right? He was nobody, really. And then next thing you know, he's president. Mm-hmm. That's a really impressive rise to power in the most powerful country in the world, with two political parties that have vice grips over who gets promoted up that ladder. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that your dad got to that point is really impressive.
Yeah. He's very opinionated, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get there by being a pushover.
Yeah.
No.
It would just be his mission in life to make me follow in his footsteps, for sure.
You would be awesome.
I don't know. I don't have much. I mean, maybe this is something I need to learn, and I can't pick one or the other. Right?
That's good.
I find,
and we need more of that.
So many different things. I'm like, okay, well, I agree with you here, here, and here, but what the fuck just happened over there?
Right.
Like, what? That is huge. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm on board with everything until that, and that's like such a huge thing. I'm like, I don't get that. Like, I don't know. And there's like, I could argue that on both sides as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what we need. Anybody that blindly follows either of the parties.
That's
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Think for yourself. If you agree 100% with the party line, I can't. I mean, I can, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because I think both sides have proven that they aren't worthy of being fully respected and towing their line.
Right.
And real life, again, gives you experiences and everything else that like, I'll give you an example. And I should probably ban my mom from listening to this episode. I learned a couple Thanksgivings
Love
ago.
you, Mom.
Love you, Mom. Her and Rachel were having a glass of wine. I think my mom said more than she wanted to, but I didn't know that she had had multiple abortions before me. Mm-hmm. And her doctor said, if you have another abortion, you may never be able to have kids. And so I'm here because of that, and my grandparents saying, like, you need to have this baby and we're going to help you. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that, but I have, and some of this is religious. I've always kind of had no, abortion's bad. And I get really sensitive whenever we're watching whatever entertainment's on the TV and something bad happens to a kid. I am very sensitive to bad things happening to kids. I will walk out of the room. I don't like it. I think pedophilia and the way that our foster care system works and like go down all the things where kids are just fucked over. I get really passionately angry about it. Sure. And so when I look at this and I go, my own personal experience shows that abortion's not a good thing, but people have a right to choose. Mm-hmm. And do I think that's a life? Do I think that's a separate life? And you kind of know how babies are made. So if you don't want that to be a thing, don't do that thing or use protection or whatever the thing is. And yes, if the life of the mother is in danger or any, like, again, it gets into all these like things. But in this reexamination of all of my beliefs, like something that I held really tight to, I even had to open up on that piece and go, okay, I don't like it, but should I be the person that in a vote can dictate to somebody else what they can or cannot do, even though I really despise it? Mm-hmm. No. And if that person's not in the right position to be able to raise a child, is it great to bring a child into that situation? Probably not. So maybe it is for the best. But man, all of a sudden to go from no to at least my mind is open enough to go, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't get to decide.
It seems like your mind's done that in so many walks of your life, though.
Yeah.
Like throughout everything, throughout religion, I guess this would be like a religious standpoint as well, but you've done that a lot.
Yeah.
You've opened up a lot.
And what I think's weird about that is I think the other reason why this podcast works now is because as much as I've talked to people ever since I was little and always gotten different perspectives, I was still never really confident in my perspective. Like I knew what I was supposed to think.
Right.
But I still had questions. And so I feel like over the last 10, 15 years, I've really been able to, and especially over the last 3 years, re-examine everything and go, yeah, I feel really good about these beliefs and I am confident in these. So I can speak to these and say it and mean it with my chest.
Yeah.
And as much as I've become even more solidified in some of my beliefs, my love and compassion and ability to listen has become greater. If that makes any, it shouldn't. To me, that seems like it's contradictory, but yeah, I've become more confident and more open.
Yeah, no,
I don't know how that works.
No, I think that's great. I don't think you can be, in order for you to feel confident in what you believe, you have to open yourself up to what other people believe.
Right.
So it makes perfect sense.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that answer. Yeah.
Sorry, I have a bite.
Oh, man.
I was like, it's driving me crazy.
Man, this sangria is good, isn't it?
It is fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I always get, which country artist is that? Your lips taste like sangria.
Oh, I've heard that, but I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person.
Every time I drink it, that's the first thing that pops. He did, what's the one where they turn their chairs and and he's married to Gwen Stefani. I can see his face. Oh, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Not happening for me.
And just so you know, some buyer's tips. This is Costco.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah. The Walmart has one. It's got like more spice to it though. I like it sweeter. So if you're ever out and about.
No, I'm going to Costco when I leave.
Yeah,
I have to go to the gym first, actually.
Yeah, gym first.
And then I'll hit Costco.
I should go hit the gym.
Because if I go to Costco first, I'm not going to make it to the gym. So that'll be a workout.
Yeah, that's a good game plan. Where do you work out?
Hot Works.
Oh, I love Hot Works.
Yeah,
Hot Works is great.
Well, only because it sold me on it when they said the hit rooms are only 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, you can get it in and out.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, 15 minutes. Like I can commit to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't. I still answer my phone and I still work
yeah,
while I'm
there's that.
doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I just think like the health benefits to everything for it.
Oh yeah, the sauna, infrared, all the other stuff. It's so good.
Yeah.
I do think it's bullshit that they think they can fit 4 people in one of those rooms.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't even feel good with 3. Like whenever Rachel and I are looking at it, it's okay. Let's make sure we get one where it's just us 2.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do hot yoga, but there's somebody already in that, so I guess we're doing hot stretching. I don't know.
Well, and then you have to buy all the stuff for that, and I'm just like, okay, I'll just go in this room for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's more conducive to my life. I can wear my yoga pants and then just put on like a professional coat and then rip it off and just change my shoes, and then nobody even
you're
knew.
off. It's
yeah,
so
nobody
good.
has a clue what I
It's
just
so
did.
good.
I just come back like sweaty for sure.
By the way, you are getting famous.
Oh,
I
I'm so excited.
really liked watching football the other day, and all of a sudden this commercial comes on, and then you pop on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Brittany. I'm watching football, and Brittany's on the TV. This is really
so
cool.
Excited.
Yeah.
You know, I think obviously I'm like, I like attention.
You know? What are you talking about?
I like that, but more so, I haven't saw it myself.
You haven't?
Well, I've saw it on YouTube, you know, obviously,
yeah.
but I haven't been anywhere where it's been like playing.
Oh.
Like, I can't wait for that moment.
Yeah, it's gonna.
I'm just so excited.
I that's what I was always waiting for with the band stuff. Like one of these days, we're gonna be driving down the road and our song's gonna come on the radio, and it's what's that gonna feel like?
Yeah. I know. I'm so excited. Everybody like sends me, clips of it playing.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud of it, just because not that it wasn't there before I was there. It is, but I watch the financials of it and then watch it grow. Yeah. And I'm like, and I just know that I'm a big part of it. And like, it makes me feel so proud of myself. Every day.
You should.
Yeah.
Well, and okay, I love this because you were with the other company before.
Uh-huh.
And then there were like some options in between. And which thing do you want? Are you going to get that gig? Are you going to get that gig? And you landed exactly where you needed to at the right time. Again, synchronicities of life. The timing's always right.
Yeah.
And it's so fun to watch you grow this company.
Oh, it's so
And you're
fun.
so good at it.
And it's so my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I just get to go to work every day, and the sales side of it is fun, right?
Yeah.
I love that. I love like leading the team of people that I have, because they're great, because I found them all.
Yeah.
Right? So they're all rock stars, and like I'm confident in all of them. Like I know that they're going to get out and just make me look good.
Oh, yeah.
But what people don't understand is the amount of time that it takes for me to do that every day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm supposed to be doing sales, right? But I'm going home and I'm on call. I'm on call right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm surprised. It just flashed again. Yeah.
Thanks.
When you got to grab something, we take a break in the episode.
No, we're good. But everything else, even like the financials and how everything, like every commercial that plays.
Yeah.
$7.
Every
commercial you see is $7. A little over $7.
Yeah.
But it's paying off.
I was going to say, and that everything fascinates me. I love all this stuff.
I know.
Because then, so how many people are you going to get eyes on that ad? Okay. Well, that's
the times.
And the time. And then how many of them are going to call?
Right.
How many of those are going to convert into paying gigs? Right. I mean, it's the funnel system. I'm always fascinated by how do people get eyes on their product, and then what does it convert down to in dollars?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and I think like, having the additive of Chandler, like the owner of my company, he's already on the commercials for Serve Pro as it is.
Yeah.
But we can't say that for franchise, right?
Right.
Right. So we just have to throw like a little caveat in there. And so if they don't see some big ripped buff dudes in the background, they see me.
Okay. I was busting up because it is you in
looks
that
like
red
I have
dress.
bodyguards around me.
You look great. Yeah. And then you've got these 2 guys that I'm like, she just grabbed them right out of the gym after they injected testosterone because they're fucking huge. And then there's another guy behind you that's nerdy looking. And I'm sure he's lovely. But I'm like, this entourage is so goofy.
Yeah, it's awesome, huh?
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, they're all fantastic. So
yeah. Well, and yeah, if you had a hand in getting those guys in, well, and that's right. You get to build your team. You get to Rachel said this the other day. She goes, "You don't realize how often we use the word entity for everything." Right? Because she's in the metaphysical world. She's like literally working with, well, I wonder if there's a walk-in, there's some kind of entity, there's something spiritual, there's a spiritual force going on, an entity. But when you build a business, we call it building a business entity. And anything, she made the observation that anything that we create, so it could be children, obviously, but it could be a business entity. It could be, what a piece of art that you work on, anything that you do. You are putting your DNA, you're putting your stamp on it. And so you're building this thing that has Brittany's handprints and DNA all over it.
It's awesome.
It's great.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially just like, I like attention so much, right? So when people say that they see it, that makes me like, I'm super proud of that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's missing. Nobody claps for it.
I clapped.
Well, I'm saying for me, that's what I like.
Oh, yeah.
I like a crowd of people clapping for me.
Yeah. Okay. So that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
What's your love language? Because that feels like a words of affirmation sort of thing. So it could be clapping or it could be congratulate, but it's the praise. It's
That is very high on my.
That's
on my
high on the
list
list
for sure. What about you?
I like physical touch.
Okay.
Which is like 90% of guys' answers.
Well, yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And what else though?
Ooh. What else though? Gift giving, not my gig. I'm a terrible gift giver, and I'm awful at receiving gifts. I'm the worst. I got stories there.
You are not a terrible gift giver.
Oh yeah, I'm a terrible.
You came to my birthday party.
That's
not true at all.
Presentation on that one could have been a little bit better.
No, that's
great. That was fun. That was good. And that's what you wanted,
thank you
right?
For coming. Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was so grateful to have you.
Thank you for inviting me. Well, yeah, maybe I'm not the worst. If I had unlimited money, like I would definitely be one of those guys that like would be watching for like the year beforehand, and we went shopping and you said you liked that thing, and then your birthday comes around and you would get all that stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
But with me receiving gifts, okay. Love the Foo Fighters, right? We already brought in Dave Grohl. I think I may have mentioned, Rachel's going to correct me on this, that the Foo Fighters were going to be playing at the Gorge. Didn't say anything beyond that. Christmas rolls around, or my birthday. They're about a week apart. And she had gotten, the packages, classic package of clothing, right? It's that rectangular box, and like everybody gets it on Christmas, and like we all know we're getting clothes. She had done it in that packaging.
That was a perfect way to describe that, by the way. That was on point.
Was that? Yeah,
yes,
we all
exactly
see it.
what you're talking
we know
about
exactly
right now.
what that present looks like. But I'm also one of those classic kids that like you shake it and you try and figure out like, oh yeah, that for sure is clothes. Oh no, there's something going on. And Rachel may have put something else in there to weight it. I don't even remember. But as I'm opening it, I go, it's Foo Fighters tickets. She was fucking pissed because it was the Foo Fighters tickets. But she's like, how the hell did you know? How do you know? Because she was so sneaky about getting the tickets, all that stuff. So I either ruin presents or I make people cry. My mom, I wanted a leather jacket. Real bad. I'm like 13. Want a leather jacket, have to have a leather jacket. My mom gets me a leather jacket. I open it up. The tag is still on it. It's from Fred Meyer's. I'm like, well, fuck. And I'm not saying that at 13 years old, but I was pissed because I wanted, I don't know, Nordstrom or some fancier, some nice jacket. And I get a jacket from Fred Meyer's. And I don't care that it's the black leather jacket that I wanted. It's from the wrong spot. So I let my mom know about it. And then on the way home, because we're in Portland for Christmas, then we're coming back up to the Seattle area afterwards. I leave the jacket on accident at the restaurant that we stop at. And I don't realize it until we're almost home. So not only do I make my mom cry when I open the present because I'm a freaking little jerk.
Mm-hmm.
But then I like leave it. And she thought I left it on purpose.
Oh.
So I'm
You're traumatized.
I am the worst at receiving gifts. So that is not one of my love languages. Do not buy me something.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. Now it's like, now you know I'm gonna have to. Right? Like, I can't be told that and not.
But like words of affirmation, what are the other ones? Acts of service. I think acts of service is actually probably higher up than I realized, because I really like a clean house. I really like everything being in order.
Mm-hmm.
And I've, with children, had to abandon my strong feelings towards that.
Yeah.
But if I come in and the house is done, or dinner's on the table, or something has been done that I don't have to do, I love it.
Isn't that funny? Like, guys that I date, I can see, like, I totally can tell that they have no kids, right? Like, I go to their house and it is fucking spotless.
Spotless.
And I was just thinking, man, my kids would fuck your house up. That was not going to work.
Well, okay. What is that like?
What?
Dating with kids.
Oh, well, now I just think I'm not going to introduce them to anybody for a while, right?
Yeah.
I only date one person. And I don't even date them. I just hang out with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's fine. Yeah.
That's good.
But his house is freaking flawless, like perfect.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I'm like, everything has a place. Like, he just moved into a house, right? And his clothes are positioned, like everything in the closet is positioned this far apart. And I'm like,
oh man. Yeah. No.
oh my God.
He has the time to do it. Because do you have the time to do that with your kids?
No, I don't even have time to hang up my clothes.
No, there's a pile somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the clean pile or the
still
dirty
in the
pile?
dryer.
Yeah.
Can I toss it? Yeah, just keep adding to
that shit. Oh, well, and this is why I think it's so important to have kids.
Yeah.
It changes your life for the best, for the better. Yeah. So that's, so would you date somebody with kids?
I've never have.
You never have? Interesting.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And for no other reason other than I just don't feel like in a second I can hang out with them. I could meet them for like 3 minutes and be like, you have no kids, do you? Yep, yeah. Because that's just like me. I don't even attract those people, I don't think.
Well, it's because you like to have a good time. Are we going to Canada tomorrow? Like we talked about it on your podcast, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I want to go see the ocean. We're going to the ocean tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is very bachelorette lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you still got. I
still keep that lifestyle with kids.
Yeah.
I perfected it.
Yeah, you really have.
Well, you just have to, I don't know, have your little. Where are you guys going next? I want to know that. Where is your next family?
Actually, okay, so this is a good question because, well, so what we're hoping for is next.
When you say we, are you bringing your kids?
Well, kind of, sort of.
Okay.
I have two answers for you.
Oh.
Gabe for jazz band, they're going to go to Disneyland.
You're chaperoning. Is
June,
this your
July.
Excuse?
Yeah, so we thought maybe we'd all go down. Gabe could go do his thing, but we'd stay for an extra couple days. So that, and we're definitely a Disney family. I mean, again, Gabe conceived Disneyland. We love Disneyland. It is the most magical place on earth. But Rachel's 40th is coming up in February.
Aww.
And so I'm trying to figure out what we do. My dad, who's turning 60 on the 18th of this month, is doing a 8-day Caribbean cruise. That sounds pretty good. Rachel went to France when she was a teenager, and I've never been to France. I would love to go over to Europe.
Has she been on a cruise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that'd be a horrible idea if she got seasick, and then she'd be like, so I was just thinking that wouldn't be a good idea. That's why I asked that question. I'm just trying to help you come up with.
Yeah. So we should brainstorm off camera so Rachel doesn't know what brilliance we come up with. So when we got married, right? Because I still have never proposed to my wife, right? Because we decided at a Red Robin to get married. I didn't get down on one knee. So I've never done that. The groom's parents traditionally are supposed to pay for the honeymoon.
Mhm.
We made that happen so fast. And again, I didn't know all the weird stuff that was going on in the background with my folks. They said that they were going to buy us a cruise in the, what is that called? Mediterranean. So that would have been sweet. I would love to go over and see Rome and all the other countries, Greece, all that stuff over in the Mediterranean. Instead, it happened so fast. They were like, we'll do that for you next year. Never happened. My father-in-law suggested, he goes, well, you two are just in love. So, we'll get you a nice hotel for your first night. And then after that, just go drive around the Olympic Peninsula, which for everybody, just go look at a map of Washington. There's that cool little on the coast. It juts out. That's the Olympic Peninsula. He said, just do that for a week, drive around, stay at a hotel every night. You guys will have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
We did it in the middle of summer. What do you do in Washington during the summer?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's out. Everybody's soaking in the 3 months maybe of good sunshine that they have. Every place that we went, the hotels were booked.
Mm.
It was the worst honeymoon ever.
So you still haven't had a good honeymoon?
Well, we went to Hawaii last year.
Oh, okay.
And we renewed our vows, and that was actually really sweet.
And you didn't get down on your knee then?
Nope, I still don't think I've done it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping maybe on our 50th or something. Well, and that's the thing. This year, she's turning 40, and it's our 20th wedding anniversary.
Oh.
So I have to do something.
Really mind-blowing.
Real good. And I still have never even upgraded her ring because I bought her. So I did. I say I never proposed. Before I left on my mission, I got her a ring from Bembridge. And it was in one of those little teddy bears. And so I gave that to her. We had a little moment. And I said, when I come home, I'm going to ask you to marry me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the closest I've ever come to proposing to my wife.
Wow.
And that's still the same ring that she wears to this day.
Oh.
So she needs a bigger diamond. She needs a good honeymoon. She needs a good 40th. So I have some work to do.
Yeah. And that's in February?
It's in February.
So
and we're going to want sunshine real bad by then.
Yeah. So are you bringing the kids?
On that, probably not.
Okay. Yeah, no, I would.
No.
That's good.
I got plans.
So then Disney, though, is when?
I think that's June, July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll do a couples thing, just the two of us for her birthday, and then we'll probably do Disney.
It's going to be fun for you guys.
I love Disney. We went for Thatcher's Make-A-Wish trip, not this past February, but the February before last.
Wow.
That was fun.
And he's free and clear of cancer.
And
he
he's
has been,
free and clear. Yeah, he just turned 9, and he was a year and a half old when that all happened. So yeah, the big thing is the 5-year mark post-treatment. That's when you are officially cancer-free.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, he's a rock star.
So did you have to live somewhere else for a while?
No, thanks. So we were over on the west side when all that went down. We were living in Bonnie Lake, which is right next to Puyallup, is the biggest city that most people know right there. And that's about 15 to 20 minutes east of Tacoma. And Bonnie Lake's a little bit past that. And so we went to Tacoma Children's for his treatment. And the big famous hospital in Washington for cancer treatment is Seattle Children's, but they both complement each other and work together. And so Thatcher's was complicated enough that they would consult with Seattle Children's, but then there's a big thing out of, I want to say it's Oklahoma or something funky, where all these doctors from around the country kind of submit weird cases to them and they get the top minds thinking on it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, thankfully, we didn't have to do any of that, right? They have the Ronald McDonald's houses and different places where you can put people up when they have to travel for treatment. But we were 30 minutes away from the hospital. So
how often did you have to go?
It was kind of on and off depending on, so when we first discovered it, Rachel had gone in, took him to the pediatrician and said, hey, he's been a great sleeper. He's been super easy. Now he's fussy. He's not sleeping. Something's up. Mother's intuition. She knew something was wrong. I told her, he'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm glad she didn't listen to me. So mother's intuition. And I need to say this for the record. I think there is no more important title and role in this world I don't care if you're the president of the United States. The most important thing, the thing that deserves the most honor and respect is mother. And so the fact that she listened to her intuition is everything. Go into the pediatrician. Pediatrician says, there's something going on with his liver, but I can't diagnose it. You got to go to the emergency room. Takes him to the emergency room. They get him in all the scans. Yep, he's got a mass. We got to get it out. Next day, he's in surgery. Mm. And then it was, okay, well, we couldn't get the tumor out. We need to treat it with chemo and radiation. They tried that for 2 months, a month. This is when I need Rachel. She knows all this stuff. I was just there. But it was, like a week in the hospital, all the chemo. Side note, hospitals are the absolute worst place on the planet to try and recuperate from anything. The number of times the nurses come in while you're trying to sleep to check you, the number of beeping things, the lights coming on and off. If sleep's kind of important for recovery, you can't do that in a hospital. How old was he? Year and a half. And I remember because she would stay with him, right? I was still working, trying to take care of the other kids, everything else. So she was the one that was with him in the hospital. We'd be in for a week. He'd be getting his chemo treatments, and then we'd be out for, I think it was on one, off two, on one, off two, some cadence like that. But the amount of Pixar movies that we watched in that span, that's
real,
right? He's a year and a half old. What's he doing?
Yeah.
We're watching Disney. And so we have all of them memorized, all of them. And
How long is this going on for?
Well, so that was, I think that was March. What year was that? 2018? Is that 2018? I think so. It all starts to run together. If he's 9, it's 2025. He was a year and a half. 8, yeah, right around there. So March, and then he finally had his second surgery to get rid of the tumor in July, give or take. And so span of a few months, but trying to do the chemo and the radiation, it wasn't working. It got to the point where he had a distended belly. He looked, as a 1.5-year-old boy, he looked like a pregnant lady. He had this huge stomach and the veins and it was just, it was terrible.
And they were too afraid to operate on that?
Yeah, because it was off of his kidney and it was intertwined with the IVC vein or whatever it is, the major artery that runs off of it. And so when they first went in, they're like, nope, we don't want to mess with this. And then the chemo and radiation didn't shrink it. It just kept growing. And so it was, well, we have to get rid of it. And that's when they were consulting with Seattle Children's and all these other people. I think it's Johns Hopkins, maybe. I can't remember what the other institution is. Yeah. And so he was 25 pounds when he went in, 20 pounds when he came out. That was a 5-pound tumor the size of a football. Yeah.
And how terrifying for you to trust these doctors that they're not going to accidentally just cut into something that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
How long is this terrible process going on for?
Well, and you have to keep in mind, again, that we are not Western medicine people.
Yeah.
That is not growing up we were, but then we learned a ton growing up as adults, married with her working in the medical field, that it was, chemo's stated goal is to get you as close to death as possible without actually killing you, but killing the cancer. Mm-hmm. That's a terrible strategy.
For sure.
It's an awful strategy. And I know I've said this on the podcast, but I'm going to say it again. His particular cancer had a 95% mortality rate before chemo treatment came out in the 50s. So if as a kid in 1930 or 1870 or whenever you got this diagnosis, you were dead. Mm-hmm. Well, now it's a 5% mortality.
Wow.
We won. That's great. Yeah. Except, and what they don't tell you is that the majority of the kids end up with a secondary cancer after they beat the first one, and that's what kills them. So cool. You don't die from the first one because we gave you all this chemo, but because your body gets so weak and your immune system sucks, now you're more susceptible to getting lung cancer, a brain tumor, something else, and that's what kills these kids. And so we knew all of that because we researched it, and we, again, not Western medicine people, we appreciate it, but that's not our first go-to. Mm-hmm. We don't want to do chemo. We don't want to do radiation. We want to do this naturally. And we were talking about leaving the church and how we got out of it. I think one of the moments for Rachel, again, very black and white, very Mormon. She would go to the local 7-Eleven and pick up a bunch of RSO, bunch of pot essentially, from a gal that would make it for her, and it was in a brown bag. And so she'd be handing her cash and she'd be getting the brown bag. And I'm like, you're doing drug deals at a 7-Eleven?
Oh my gosh.
So, but she would have never thought, we wouldn't have thought that that's what we would have done early on in our marriage. And certainly she wouldn't, like, drugs are bad.
Mm-hmm.
But here she is using drugs to help keep our son off of the chemo as much as possible. So they recommend, 20 rounds of this chemo at this dosage. And Rachel had done so much research and reached out to so many different people that we found a naturopathic oncologist out of Portland that we paired with the Western medicine oncologist. And the Western guy would say, this is what we need to do. And the naturopathic oncologist would say, well, we can cut the dosage in half and we can cut the rounds in half. And we're going to supplement with dandelion and ashwagandha and I think the poor kid was on something like 50 different supplements at one point.
Yeah.
So I think because we didn't do exactly what they recommended that we do is part of why he's doing so well today.
Right.
Because we were worried about his immunity overall and his body overall, and chemo is poison. Why would you inject more of that than you absolutely have to? And if you don't do what you're told to do with pediatric cancer kids, like, the next call is CPS. Mm-hmm. And so we were worried about that the entire time.
Sure.
We were pushing back against the Western medicine, and he's a fantastic guy and we love him to death. But we were scared.
Yeah.
And it was weird because we're scared for his life, but we're also scared for you're disagreeing with a doctor that has trained to do this their entire lives, right? It's the classic,
mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have your medical degree. Why, you don't get to have an opinion. Again, everybody gets to have an opinion on anything that they want. That's kind of how this gig works. And we would print out study after study and all this stuff. And he'd say, okay, this is what we're going to do. And we'd say, we don't want to do it that way. Here's why.
Mm-hmm.
And he was
respectful.
He was respectful. He was still firm, and which I totally understand because right? Like, what does he want? He wants his patients to be healthy. There's nothing nefarious in what he's doing. He is doing what he's trained to do. And he's been doing it for decades. And so he's doing what his reality, what his experience says is the best thing to do.
Right.
But I think that also, like all of us, limits us in being able to look outside of that bubble to say, okay, but maybe there is something else.
Right.
So
what was the support system like with the church?
Amazing. It was amazing. Again, so at that point we had that circle of friends that we did game night with. So they were helping with the kids a ton, which was great. The church would fast and pray on our behalf. They were wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. We needed the community. We needed all of that.
Yeah. I can't imagine just even thinking of that, like how terrified you are. But at the same time, now you're having to find all these other natural doctors to collaborate with other people. You have to orchestrate a time that they can both like be in communication with each other. Meanwhile, you're terrified, like,
and not getting sleep and trying to take care of everybody and
that's that's definitely has to make you like a person you never thought you had to be. Like, you're strong way more than you ever thought you would ever have to even endure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, and I've said before that I'm in the scriptures more than I ever was. And I mentioned the refiner's fire. And you don't get to go through this life unscathed.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to deal with shit. And that could be, I was brought up in a single parent household and or one of my siblings died, or I lost my spouse. I got fired from a job that I thought was great. I never finished college. So, right, like we can go down the list of, there's so many weird, crazy things that happen in our lives. Those are all good things in the end.
Mhm.
They all help us figure out our strengths. They all expose our weaknesses. They make us persevere, right? Because there's the other answer is I'm just going to curl up in a ball and die
Yeah.
and give up.
Mhm.
That no, there is light at the end of every single one of those tunnels.
So he's 1.5. You figure this out. At what time do they tell you like he's cured? Like we got rid of it.
So I think because they get rid of the tumor and then there's still some follow up. I think there was still some follow up chemo, maybe not. I can't remember. And I'm fairly certain we still had some radiation. But I think the fall, like that October. So it all started in March. We got the tumor out June, July. And then I think October is when we finished treatment.
Wow.
And then, so he's done with treatment, but they don't consider him cancer free at that point. It's the 5-year mark after that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would go in, I think it was quarterly for the first couple of years for him to get scans and blood work and all that fun jazz. And then the last year or two, it was, okay, we'll see you like twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're still technically supposed to see him once a year. It's been a couple of years though. He's doing great. And we, still get him checked out and by his regular doctor. And
so your 5-year mark with him, what did that celebration look like?
ooh, that's a good question. That might have been, is that when we went to Disneyland?
Oh, geez.
I think it was. It was right around then because so like all those kids get a Make-A-Wish,
Mm-hmm.
right? We knew his was going to be Disney. We ended up not going because of COVID, which was perfect because he would have been like 3-4 years old anyways. And so he got to enjoy it when he was 6, 7, one of those.
Oh, so we really got to enjoy it.
Yeah. So it actually meant something. He has memories of it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was great.
How cool. So he doesn't even remember any of the bad things because he was too young.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got kick-ass scars.
He does. He's got scars.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that? The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. Chicks dig scars. What's the rest of that quote? Glory lasts forever or something. There's some really cool quote in there, but yeah, chicks are cool. Scars are even cooler.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Gosh. I can't even put myself in that position at all. Like that's just, breaks my heart.
What's the worst thing that's happened to your kids?
Other than Sky having some migraine issues and like the doctors are just were freaking me out saying that she's got some
that was
tumor.
Freaking me out.
Yeah, it freaked me out. Like, and especially like I didn't have insurance at
Yeah.
the time, so I'm paying for everything out of pocket. Right.
Our country is screwed up when you are concerned and you need something done with your health or your kid's health, but you have to worry about the financial aspect of it. Like that's fucked.
Right. It's fucked. And like, what am I going to do? Take her into like an ER and have like an ER doctor? Like,
right.
So, taking a more alternative medicine. I don't even know if I would say that, but Dustin.
Oh yeah.
The chiropractor, Dustin Meyer, Simply Chiropractic, Guardian. He adjusted her for about 1.5 months and
she hasn't had the migraines?
Not one.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nothing.
Oh man, when that was all going on, I
was terrified.
The only thing that I was
you could relate
hopeful for was, okay, if she has to go through this, I'm there.
Yeah.
Like however much you would have allowed me to be, whatever support, whatever, like,
because you've been through it.
I've been through it. I can hold your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know what to do or like who to turn to. And you think like, you know, so many people and so many people will help you through this, or, you know, you'll have some doctor that will just step in and just be like, here, like, I got you. Like that doesn't happen,
yeah.
you know, in those situations. So really it was the best case situation with Dustin. Just, you know,
he is phenomenal too.
He's great.
If anybody needs a chiropractor near the Coeur d'Alene area.
Yeah.
He is really good.
Man, I'm like,
I can't wait. I need him on here.
You do.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
We should corner him on Tuesday.
Yeah. So you want to do chiropractors, like how are we going to talk to people about coming on this? Well, you're going to come here and you're not going to be judged.
Yeah.
You're going to come here and you're just going to say your opinion, and people are going to hear you.
Yeah.
People are going to listen.
Yeah. which I think is beautiful.
Which I think is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and even if it's not something that you agree with, the fact that you can find common ground with them on things, like, I love that.
Well, and there's always common ground.
Yeah.
I really can't think of an example off the top of my head of, like, pick a subject. There is some way that you can distill that down to a principle that you agree on.
Right. Right.
And then you can work backwards from there.
Yeah.
But I think a willingness to listen and not judge, both of those go hand in hand.
So I know that this is typically the question that you ask to wrap things up. And I don't want to, I know that you can elaborate so much on so many of these. So I want to leave some time for this.
Yeah.
What are messages that you could reach if you're reaching anybody? You could reach anybody and everybody in the whole world. What do you want people to know? What do you want people to know?
I think it comes down to the two great commandment point of loving God and loving each other. I would. Oh man, there is. Damn it, Brittany. Isn't it funny? So I know this question's coming. I'm the one that instituted it being the last question. I don't have a solid answer for this because there's a lot I would want everybody to know.
That's why I'm like, yes.
So freaking hard. I should have had this. I should have had a canned answer. I knew this was coming. And everybody's like, wow, that is a really good question. Oh, dang, let me think about that. Oh man, I don't know what my answer is. I don't fucking know what my answer is. But I be kind. Like, that is the message, is be kind. You never know what anybody's dealing with. Whatever your beliefs are for why we're here, where we're going, all the rest of that stuff, the fact of the matter is that we are. And we're all trying to figure it out. And as sure of themselves as some people are, and as lacking in that area as other people are, none of us really know. So be kind. Don't judge. Like, yeah, there's righteous judgment. There's things that you shouldn't allow into your life. That's fine. But if you approach things with kindness and love, we would be in a much better world.
Much better.
Yeah. So I think that's my megaphone
family.
Moment.
And your family.
Yeah.
We need to instill that in our nation better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and around the world.
Yeah.
You know, that's I've gotten so, like, why? There's definitely the younger version of me, the 14, 15-year-old, especially after 9/11, of, we are the best. We don't do anything wrong. We should kick everybody's asses. We should just nuke the Middle East. And now I'm more of a, like, why the fuck are we allowing a genocide in Gaza? What is that? Right. Where I did. And even that, I would have been the most pro-Israel person on the planet and said, yeah, wipe them all out. So I've, like, switched on a ton of stuff. But to the core of all that is what, there's plenty of land. There's plenty of resource. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about, how do I pay for my daughter's medical stuff? No, nobody should. We have so many resources, so much money, so much access to amazing technology. And this is kind of my hope for AI, is that, like, there's definitely the part of me that's terrified. There's the part of me that says, we're getting Skynet, like, and we're all done. This is not, or we're getting Wall-E and we're all just going to be floating around in, like, fat. The other side of me goes, man, but if you could, like, consolidate and get all of the information about all of the medical stuff anytime throughout history, and that resource, that AI is figuring all that out. Plus, it's taking what your blood type is and what your blood markers are and all your whatever medical conditions you have, and it's marrying all that together. We should be able to be superhuman, practically, right? Like, we should all be taken care of. Sure. But are we still going to gatekeep that with money? Why? Mm-hmm. We have the money for the wars. Maybe if we, like, took care of everybody and made sure everybody was healthy and happy, we wouldn't have wars. Maybe if we were kind. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a good message. I do want to do a little speed round of some questions.
Oh, I like speed round. My favorite color is blue.
Oh, okay. Favorite color is blue. Favorite sport?
Football.
Favorite team?
Seahawks.
College.
Oh, that was a grumble. Is that an agreement?
Niners fan.
Oh, you're
It's
That's
involuntary.
You're a
I'm
Niners.
sorry.
You guys beat us week 1.
I know.
And I love you so much that I'm not watching the Seahawks game right now. It's about to end.
I know. And the Niners game is on right now.
Oh,
at
is
the
it
same
too?
time.
Okay, yeah. All right, we got to check scores. What was the next one?
Football team for college.
Oh.
Okay, you don't do college. Okay.
No, yeah. It depends on that one. I am 100% a chameleon. If you're a Huskies fan, yeah, go Huskies. If you're a Cougars fan, go Cougs. If you're a Beavers fan or a Ducks fan, yeah, let's go. I adopt whoever I'm with.
Okay, I love that. Perfect climate for you.
Ooh, Costa Rica, whatever that is.
Okay.
Mid 80s and always beautiful.
Okay, no humidity, just beautiful and sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely warmer though. I don't like cold.
Winter sport?
My bed.
It's not a sport. Do you do anything?
Sleeping's not a sport. Are you sure? Because I would gold medal in that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't have a winter sport. I used to snowboard when I was a teenager, but it's expensive and gear and all that stuff and time, and I should get back into it. But yeah.
Summer hobby.
Oh, being on the water.
On the boat? A paddleboard?
Anything and everything.
Just the water.
Yeah, I've always said that I never want to be the guy that has the boat. You always want to be the guy that has a friend that has a boat.
Yeah.
I really would like to get to the point where I have a boat, I have jet skis, I have all that stuff, and I live on the water. Living on the water would be my dream.
I love that. Like a sailboat?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
But like having a house on the water and then like,
oh, okay.
I'm going to go play.
Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Yes.
Which one?
I default to breakfast, but I love food. I love food.
Okay. 3 of your favorite things to eat. What's your favorite foods? I can't just say one. That's like not even fair.
So steak.
Steak. Okay.
Right? Like I want a good steak. Oh, damn, this question's hard. I asked all of my kids this question and they had good answers. One of the 3 would have to be some kind of good dessert. Something caramel, chocolate, something delicious. And I mean, you can't go wrong with pizza or a good sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite restaurant around here?
Coach Nito's.
Okay.
I also really like Izzy's.
Okay.
Yeah. For the 315. That one's good too. We have a lot of good ones around here.
You think so?
I do.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay. West Side, it was all box store, big chain, whatever that's called. So it was Red Robin and Applebee's and whatever. Like we have mom and pop stuff here.
I think the food culture is getting better around here.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're looking for, though. It's not like California where it's like everyone is just a knockout no matter what. They're just freaking great.
Yeah. Or Utah. I'm actually really excited for my new gig because I cover Utah and I get to go travel down to Salt Lake and Provo, go into what would now be considered technically enemy territory, maybe. I don't know. It's still the mothership. I lovingly refer to it as. But because they have so many missionaries that return back to Utah, they bring food culture from everywhere. So Utah actually has amazing food.
Oh.
So
tell me about your new gig.
My new gig. So I've been in banking for forever and a half. I'm now specifically SBA. So I'm doing loan officer, SBA for WaFed. And I cover Eastern Washington, the northeast corner of Oregon, Idaho, and Utah. And I get to help small business owners get financing when they otherwise wouldn't be able to.
That's awesome.
Which is another, right? Like,
you get to help people.
I get to help people. And it's so fun to hear people's stories. Because I'm big corporations, whatever, that I could take them or actually, I don't want to take them. I want to leave them. Big corporations are terrible because everybody becomes a number. But I mean, you get to see the direct impact of a small local business. You get to hire people. You get to change people's lives. That helps their families. It helps the community directly. Like that, I want to be a part of that, and that's what I get to do.
Do you get to help like grow them? Like
yeah,
everything. You don't just stop at the loan. You're there for them the whole time.
Yeah. So actually, it's funny because So I do the loan, and then they've already told me that there will be a relationship manager, somebody that is there like from beginning to end and forever. But every time I talk to somebody, I tell them that, and I say, I technically am just helping you with this loan, but we're going to fall in love with each other, and I'm going to be invested in your success. So you're still going to be talking to me.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So how many people do you still stay in contact with that you've helped?
A ton. In fact, that was part of the hard thing about my most recent gig before this one is they had a very limited territory, and I still had people calling me from the West Side saying, "Hey, Brandon, can you help me? Hey, I want to do this thing now. That thing that we talked about 5 years ago, it's time for me to do that now. Can you help me?" And I wasn't able to before, and now I get to again.
Oh, how exciting. So you don't have any boundaries now?
No.
Like if somebody like reaches out to you directly, you can help all those people?
I can help anybody and everybody.
How exciting.
Everywhere.
And then you get to meet more people too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
I went down to Hermiston. This is Wednesday. And we went on blitzes. So there's about 8 of us. We pair off. It's like Mormon missionaries. We paired off into 2 and we went out and we proselyted. But I was working with a team member that had never really gone out business prospecting. Mm-hmm. And we get to the first spot and she goes, what do we do? I'm like, this is your community. This is your like thing. Go talk to him. She's like, I don't know how. This isn't what I've done before. So I took lead and we went and visited like 8 or 10 businesses and I took lead on most of them. And it could be the bowling alley. It was a furniture store. It was a farm. It was a restaurant. And there was a couple other things mixed in there. I can have a conversation with anybody about anything, mm-hmm. right? So I'm asking the bowling alley, well, okay, so when did you do this remodel and how long do these machines last? And oh, you have a game room. Do those keep working? How much do they cost you? Have you had to replace them? Is it working the way you like? All sorts of weird stuff. Or the farm. You sell watermelons? How does that work? Because the price changes, doesn't it? And he goes, yeah, every week. Oh, well, I only know that because I used to bank a guy that raised cattle. Mm-hmm. And every other week it was, well, now they're $50, now they're $100, now they're $75. How do you do that? Mm-hmm. If you were selling plumbing and you didn't know what the price of fixing something was going to be this week to the next, like, yeah, obviously supplies and stuff change prices, but you know what your prices are. Yeah. How do you do that in agriculture? Wow. It's kind of fascinating. So, yeah. But she goes, man, everybody loves you. and how do you do that? How do you get them to talk? I said, I'm just curious. Yeah. I'm like genuinely interested in who they are and if there's a way that I can help them. And even if I can't, I'm genuinely curious. Yeah. I want them to be successful.
So you just find them. You just go from, so Utah being a new market for you, how are you going to find people?
So that's one of the things that I love about this is a lot of it's going to be internal partners. So commercial bankers, business bankers, branch managers, tellers, anybody and everybody that works with people, mm-hmm. they're going to have a conversation where it goes, oh, they have a need. It's something that we can't do, but Brandon can. So I'm going to find people because people are going to find people for me. Mm-hmm. But I need to build relationships with those people, with the commercial lender, with the branch manager, so they know me and trust me. Right. And then when they are having those conversations, I pop up in their head and they go, oh, that Brandon guy was pretty good. I'm gonna send them their way. That's
so exciting.
But also by going and participating in these sorts of things, we're like, when I go to Salt Lake, let's go out on blitzes. Let's go visit people. Let's go knock on some doors. And who said this? Might have been Terry. Somebody said, when you go out prospecting, don't think of it as I need to get business. I'm trying to get business. You're making friends. Yeah. It's go make new friends day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I love that. I don't think I ever think like, oh, I'm going to go out there and get a sale. I'm like, oh, I got to meet new friends today. It's so exciting.
It's so good. And that shift, right? It takes it from nerve-wracking and you're trying to sell something and because you have no fucking idea. You don't know if they need you.
Yeah. It takes it from work to fun.
Yeah. And it is.
Yeah. So every day it doesn't feel like you're ever going to work.
Right. Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So be kind.
Be kind.
Is your message.
Yeah. Be kind.
So if someone's having a shitty day, if you deal with a Karen at the grocery store, Maybe not a Karen. Maybe that's the wrong choice of words.
No, that's right. And it is. It's Karen's. And they usually drive a Subaru.
And Karen has a crappy attitude towards you. How are you going to act to Karen? You still going to be kind and polite?
Yeah. Well, so going back to Thatcher and my crazy driving, I'm aggressive. I'm fast. I know what's going on as far as I can see ahead and as far as I can see behind. So I'm always planning. I'm a very conscientious driver. And because of that, I'm aggressive because I know what's happening. So I'm trying to get from point A to point B. And I used to get pissed when somebody was in the slow lane or in the fast lane going slow or cut me off or whatever the thing is. And I realized with Thatch, because we would drive way slower and way more intentionally and all that stuff, like he just got treatment. He's going to puke if we drive faster or if I take that corner faster or whatever the thing is. You never know what anybody's dealing with. You have no idea what anybody is dealing with. And so if they're grumpy, if they're whatever the thing is, it's not about you. They got stuff going on. And so again, bringing the kindness, if they could be mean to you, they could yell at you, they could do whatever it is. One of my favorite quotes is, other people's opinions of you are none of your business. Because it's way more about them and it says way more about them than it does about who you actually are. And so if somebody wants to be rude or have an off day, like I think I'm allowed to have those days too, right?
Sure.
And again, it's usually because I'm dealing with some weird internal shit. And then I take it out on Rachel or I take it out on the barista that, yeah, this day is fucking sucks and you made me a cold drink instead of a hot one. Oh, okay. Oops. Did you die?
I love that quote.
It's so good.
You're fine.
You're fine. So yeah, I don't know. It happens. And I think that I've definitely grown in patience and all of that, because I think it would have affected me more when I was younger. But now, whatever.
You want to know what your score is?
Yeah, kind of. I want to know what the Niners score is.
The Niners won. 26
they
21.
should have, because they were playing the Saints. With no Purdy, though. No Kittle.
I know, huh? All right. Seahawks.
Oh, no. I'm scared.
They won.
Yes!
31-17.
Damn, they trounced them.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
Should have beat the Niners last week.
Oh, you know what? You can't win them all.
We'll see you guys later in the season.
I know. I think there is one.
Yeah.
One more
for
that. It's exciting.
And we all got to play the Rams a couple times and the Cardinals a couple times.
That's exciting.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good season.
Yeah.
Do you do fantasy football?
No.
No?
No, I don't say it. I don't. Nope. I'll just bet on games.
Do you bet on games?
I mean,
do you have a little bookie somewhere?
Well, I'll just go bet people. You know.
Oh, you bet people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't go. That's just such a commitment for me to drive all the way to Spokane to the casino, walk inside and fill out that pay. I don't know. That just seems like a lot of extra work.
It's a lot of work.
Even when I was in Vegas, I was like, all right, we're going to go do it now. I'm like, geez, this is so much work.
So much work.
But my Niners were playing when I was in Vegas. So, I mean, you had to bet. You
know? And did they win? Did you win?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beat the spread?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Then I made my mom, who's a diehard Seahawks fan, wear a Niners jersey.
That's so mean.
Yeah, I brought an extra one for that because I was like, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
She's going to represent for me.
I really miss the Pete Carroll versus Harbaugh Niners Seahawks days. Those games with it when it was Kaepernick and Wilson. And
I'm bummed out about Pete Carroll.
Why?
Going to the Raiders.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I mean, because I won't get to see him now. I'm not watching the Raiders.
No.
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 This is what I will say about the Raiders, though. It was my goal. I'm like, man, I just need to find a Raiders fan.
We have Mike.
Well, I mean, to date, because
to date. Yeah, he's not available.
In my mind, I'm like, they are so loyal to their terrible team.
Yeah.
Like they
so
don't
I could be an
ever-
absolute mess and he'll still be loyal.
Yeah. Like that's how I'm going to find a loyal guy. I need
my
a Raiders
gosh,
fan.
A Raiders fan. That's not a bad strategy.
That's what I thought.
All
but-
right. I'll look for a Raiders fan if I ever find a handsome, independendly wealthy Raiders fan.
Yeah. No, but I
Like,
mean,
let me
preferably a
introduce you to
Niners.
Brittany.
Yeah, just not so die hard that it's like, plastered in their house. And,
Yeah.
that's a little extreme.
It's a little much.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a couple Niners things, around my house, but not
Yeah.
anything crazy.
Not crazy.
I more so have all the swag for it. Like I have the shirts, the jerseys, I have the leggings, the beanies.
Oh, yeah.
I have some things.
All right. Well, you let me know when you're coming to EBC dressed like that, and I'll wear the Seahawks stuff.
All right, deal. Yeah.
Deal.
The next time when we play,
Oh, it's on.
yeah.
Okay. Good.
We'll do
I
like a
that.
best dressed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good.
I think that's something we should do.
I think so too.
Yeah. Maybe for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can make fun
Represent
of
their own
the
team.
Cowboys fans.
Yeah. Do we even have any?
Are they still brave enough to announce that they're Cowboys fans?
I don't know. I'm sure they do. You do fantasy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mike's in it this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How many years have you been doing that?
For forever. We started up a family league 12 years ago, something like that, give or take. Yeah, and it's Ben, and Rachel and Kais and Mike, and yeah, it's a weird collection of people that I've met over the years.
And do you do it live?
Yeah, we've done it in person before, but everybody's spread out. I mean, Kais is in Costa Rica. My buddy Zach is in Virginia. Harrison's over on the west side. We were going to get together with Mike, but it just didn't pan out.
Dang it.
Yeah, but we definitely are harassing each other on Messenger as we're drafting and making fun of each other.
And so you get to just switch out whenever. I mean, you can't switch out whenever you want. Or does it have to be like an injury has to happen before you can switch out somebody?
Oh, so before any game, you can switch players out. So you have your starters, quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, tight end, defense, kicker. And then you have a bench, depending on the league, a bench of like 5 to 8 players. And so like I had to figure out this week, am I starting Bowers, who's the tight end for the Raiders, but he's also hurt. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? I don't know. I also have Ayuk, who's still on injured reserve, but as soon as he can go back and play for the Niners, he'll be one of my starters. But right now he's just sitting on my bench. So yeah, typically every week you're switching some people out.
Are you a red zone guy?
I just got it again this year.
Okay.
I feel like we pre all the streaming services, whether it was CenturyLink or what's the big one that everybody has.
I know Fubo's like
yeah, whatever the Comcast. I had all those channels, and now I'm like, damn it, is the game on Amazon? Is it on Peacock? Is it on ESPN? Oh, I have ESPN, but I don't have the right service, so now I got to upgrade. Like, it's a fucking mess.
Yeah. So the way around that is red zone.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
it doesn't play on the TV. I pay for the subscription, so I get it on my tablet and my phone, but it won't play on the TV. I don't know. The whole thing's janky.
Ah.
I do like Red Zone though, because then you get everything.
Well, yeah, and then that way, if you're doing fantasy, I would assume that that'd be the best option for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so I did. I think if I remember correctly, it's only been a week. I upgraded to whatever version is on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching Red Zone this last week
You
for
just
the
need
first
to
time in years.
You just need to split it with somebody, and that way you guys can
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh.
Yeah.
give them your login credentials, and they can pay you half. Boom.
Do you? I think we do that with every single one of our streaming services,
Except Netflix.
even Netflix.
You can't do it with Netflix.
Oh, we
I
do
mean,
it with Netflix.
Well, like if somebody else lives somewhere else,
yeah.
right? They can't log in on they can log in on their tablet or their
Right.
iPhone, but they can't log in on their TV and your TV longer than 2 weeks.
I don't know how we skirt around it because I'm pretty sure Rachel's best friend still uses it on the west side. And we might have one other person that uses our Netflix.
I tried to do it off my mom's. That's when I had to grow up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it said something about me being not in network, so they had to email her a password, and that only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
Then you have to choose.
Yeah.
Unless I think if you purchase like an additional package, it's just a crazy amount of money more.
Yeah.
Netflix is stepping their game up.
Yeah. They've had some good stuff on there lately.
Yeah. The fights last night.
I didn't watch it. Who won? Did Canelo win?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
No, it was the other dude.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have watched it.
Oh, yeah. Everything was good. Everything, there was no knockouts. Everybody went the whole time.
Really?
It was crazy.
Oh.
It was, yeah. I was about it, man.
Yeah?
I was yelling at the TV.
Oh, man. I do love a good fight.
Front side, it was Mr. Beast was right in front row.
Oh, yeah.
Dana White was there. Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
There was
Maybe I could get Wahlberg on. He's got a spot out in whatchamacallit?
Gazer.
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of guests, I just need to get on to Gazer and be like, hey, you want to come on a podcast?
Yeah. Yeah, do something, man.
I always love people that work at Gazer because they're like, well, I signed an NDA, so I can't tell you who I did this for, but this guy was a jackass. This guy was really sweet.
I never signed one.
No? You can tell me all sorts of stuff. Did you ever end up seeing Alex Rodriguez again this year?
No.
Oh.
He's not a Gazer member, though. I looked him up.
Who Arnold was just here, and Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Because one of the kids got married. Somebody got married.
Oh.
So Arnold was here.
Arnold. That was a perfect impression. I like that. All right. Favorite movie? Do you have one?
Oh, gosh. That we could do a whole podcast on just that.
Okay.
Although I've had Braveheart running through my head the last little bit.
Okay.
So I wouldn't, that's not
favorite
actually my
kids movie.
Fuck, I don't know.
You got a lot of those.
A lot.
Okay.
That's like
TV show.
It's like trying to say like, okay, what is your favorite 90s era Disney movie? Well, okay, that's hard as shit right off the. Is it Lion King? Is it Aladdin?
Yeah.
Is it? What
That's
are your
fair.
other choices in there? There's plenty of other
there's
choices.
A ton. Cinderella.
Emperor's New Groove.
I
love that movie.
Yeah, that is a great one.
And we haven't even like gotten into Pixar, and we haven't gotten into horror, and we haven't gotten into drama, and we haven't got like.
You're open to a lot.
I'm open to a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that's an unfair question for you.
We're watching Vikings at the moment.
Okay.
Which is, it's good. I don't know if it's my favorite TV series ever, but.
What's your favorite one?
I don't know.
Like, what's other than the Vikings? Like, what do you have? Like something that you fall asleep to?
No. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm out.
Wow.
It doesn't hardly ever take me more than 30 seconds to fall asleep. Rachel's over there, like she was listening to Harry Potter the other day, which if you've never listened to the audio version of Harry Potter, it will change your life. So go do that. But yeah, if I feel like everybody needs to fall to sleep to something, it's bedtime. Oh, Brandon. I've always been like that. When I was a little kid, like a year, 2 years old, I'd grab my blanket and my teddy bear. Still have the teddy bear, by the way. And start walking to my bedroom at like 5 o'clock at night. My mom had to stop me from going to bed. I love sleep. I told you what my winter activity is. I love my bed.
So as long as you don't sleep with that teddy bear still, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't still.
That would be super weird.
I don't sleep with Boo Bear anymore. No.
Boo Bear.
You asked for things that people don't know about me.
Okay, there we go. We got Boo Bear.
Yeah, Boo Bear. Well, so my grandpa started calling me Boo, B-O-O, not like B-E-A-U, whatever other people do with Boo, when I was in the womb. And so that was my nickname.
Oh,
was Boo. And so he called me Boo until the day he died. And my mom still calls me Boo every once in a while. And I named my teddy bear Boo Bear.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
You still have him. Does he look haggard?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of where he is. He's either in storage or Mel has him amongst her 100 stuffed animals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What color is he now?
Well, he's always been like a really light blue. Like a sky blue, but even pastelier than that. I used to abuse him, meaning like the way that I would carry him around was with his nose in my mouth. And so my grandma had to restitch because it was a black nose with threading. She had to redo it a couple times because I kept chewing it through.
Oh, once you started getting teeth.
Yeah, once I started getting teeth.
Yeah.
And I was always bigger than for my age. And so even at like 2.5, I'd be
tall as shit.
Tall and big. And I'd have my teddy bear and a binky.
Oh, okay.
And people are like, what's up with this 5-year-old? No. He's not 5. He's still a little baby.
Yeah.
Give him a break.
That's awesome. So the Seahawks, are they going to win the Super Bowl?
Fuck no. I would love it. I would love it if they did, but I don't
Who do you
think
think's going to take it? Let's make an early prediction right now.
NFC, the Packers look damn good.
Mm.
I'm actually really surprised at how good the Packers look. Packers, I could see Philadelphia still doing it. I don't know if there's anybody else in the NFC that I'm like terribly impressed with. AFC, man, that's Baltimore. That's the Bills. Who's the other one in there? There's another. Oh, obviously the Chiefs. But yeah, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Bills, I think, are the 3 teams out of there. So between those 5 teams, I think that's who's going to be standing at the end. So I don't know who are you picking?
I mean, I'm just diehard Niner, so I'm just gonna stay with that.
The Niners. The Niners.
We're such fans. We didn't even watch our games today.
I know.
We instead we're here.
This was more important. So thank you for.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Coming.
Yeah, I would have rather been here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got 16 more games this season.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
I can watch some recaps of it later.
That's right.
Or something.
Yeah.
There's games on the rest of the day. I'll watch
That's
one
right.
of those.
Yeah, we still have afternoon games. We've got Sunday night football and Monday night.
Yeah. I'm going to go to a bar right after I leave here.
I thought you were going to work out.
Well, I don't know.
I'm holding you accountable.
Well, it sounds really good just to sit down at a bar by myself. I like to do that.
Do you?
Yep.
Yeah,
and
but how quickly do you make friends with people?
Oh, well.
I was going to say, you go there alone, but you walk out with an entourage.
Well, I think that's where I've met a ton of people for sure.
Yeah. Well, and there's one downtown that like has a Niners section.
They're aggressive though. One of the last times I was there, somebody threw a chair, like they were all about it. And so I in that time I was like, I just, this is a little too aggressive.
It's a little too aggressive.
Yeah. Like not my forte.
So where are you going? Which bar?
I don't know.
No, just whichever one has the vibe.
Well, maybe Capone's because I want their clam chowder.
Do they have good clam chowder?
Yeah. It depends on the location you go to.
Oh.
I like the Coeur d'Alene. The Hayden one's good too. Yeah.
Okay.
But I just like to go there. Sometimes I like to go there and then I'll just be so focused in the game that I won't want to talk to anybody and I'll just make myself not available. Like that's always my goal, but then I find friends.
Yeah. I find turning that off is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely days again, right, where I'm a Karen. Like, no, I'm not.
Well, let's go there with some sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Just avoid people.
But I like making friends.
Yeah. No, I like that. And I find like a ton of business doing that as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's always great.
Yeah.
I like that.
You, bright, lovely personality, people being attracted to it and finding business. That sounds so weird.
But gosh, I should go to the gym. But okay, I'm not going.
Gym and then the bar and then Costco for some more sangria.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that plan a lot. Yeah. I think I'm not going to go to the gym.
It's only 15 minutes, Brittany.
I know. That's true. That's fair. I would feel better if I went.
You would feel better.
Yeah.
I'm going to check in. I'm going to see if you went.
I'm not going to go. I'm just not going to go. I'm like, I mowed my lawn. That's basically the gym.
Yeah, it's a workout for sure. Did you get a little sweaty? Okay, that counts.
I love to mow the lawn.
Do you?
Do you like yard work?
I love yard work. This current house would not show that that's true.
Oh, okay.
When it's my home, my yard is impeccable.
Oh, you got some PGA grass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
In fact, next house, I would love to have a little putting area, a little chipping area. Great.
golfing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed to see you at that golf tournament. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
In another life, I was a golfer,
Oh.
professional golfer.
Oh, okay.
If
Are you good?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I played, my grandpa had clubs in my crib when I was a baby, and him and I played golf all the way for forever.
Uh-huh.
And I played in high school, and my young men's leader was Matt Thurmond, who now coaches down in Arizona, but he was the UW golf coach. And him and I played a couple times, and he was like, if I do a couple private lessons with you, I'd be able to make the team. And I like girls, so was a golf for girls.
Mm-hmm.
Girls.
Yeah.
I had other priorities.
So do you like the driving range? Do you just like to actually play? Like you like all of it?
I love all of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, since, the last decade and a half, I haven't played nearly as much as I would like to.
In business, though, like I find it to be a huge thing.
It is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially because we're surrounded by great golf courses and yeah. And I have a buddy he wants to do one of those virtual indoor things.
That's awesome.
But he's got a really good business plan where he wants some other components in that, like private offices, so you could rent from there, but you could also so I won't get into the details in case somebody tries to. But yeah, I would play golf all the time.
That's awesome.
When you asked earlier, what would you do with your podcast? And if I could just do anything and everything, I would play so much golf.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How good are you?
When I'm playing regularly, good. When I haven't been playing very regularly, still pretty good.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's impressive. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's,
what's your handicap? Oh, I don't know.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah. I have not been consistent enough to know where I'm at with that.
Yeah. I don't even remember when I played on Thursday. I don't even remember what our score was. They did well. Like they were great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They carried the team. They carried me. That's what I meant.
So good. Well, how are you at golf?
Oh, well, people have me on their team because I'm fun.
Well, yeah.
Not because I'm like, we're doing best ball, right?
You aren't the ringer on the team?
No.
No, but you bring the fun.
Yeah.
Which is just as important.
Well, I've used left-handed clubs until this year.
Really? And you switched? How the fuck did that work?
I don't know. Well, because I was already using my driver right-handed, but using all my other clubs left-handed. So I'm like, all right, I'll switch it up and see, because I'm left-handed already, right? So I was just thinking, but I can whack the shit out of the ball with right-handed clubs.
That's amazing.
So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll just try it. So it was like the worst tournament for me to do it in because I'm with, somebody they're making a partner, the owner of my company, and Dave Cotton from KHQ. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm making myself look like a fool right now.
That's so good though. And they probably had a great time.
Yeah.
And didn't judge you for it, did they?
No. I did, sit in the car quite a bit. It worked. But
yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun.
What's the best part of your game? Is it the drive?
Is it drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, my putting game sucks.
Really?
Yeah, I can't putt to save my life.
Well, good. Then you and I can team up because I'm always on putting. I could not play golf for a decade and I'd still be great at putting.
Really?
My driver though, fuck that.
Oh,
I'm terrible.
I just get mad and I just
channel that all in.
I just get
it. Did you post the Happy Gilmore videos?
Oh,
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I love those. That's my favorite. So that's how we raised a ton of money at the golf tournaments that I do with the Power Club.
Yeah.
So we just charge like $100 for an eagle or $200 for a hole in one. And so once they've used that, I let them I'm like, please Happy Gilmore it, please. And then I record all that and post all of that.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like my favorite one that I posted was this guy that gave it his all and he whacked the shit out of the tee. The ball did not move. The tee was gone. The ball was just, I was like, holy cow, I've never saw anything like that ever. Tee just gone. The ball's just
ball right there.
Ball's just boom down.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
My grandpa, he was the president of Dairy Queen West Coast. Mm-hmm. And so he would organize a thing at a resort in Oregon, and all the people would come from Washington, California, and some of the other states. And they gave out a rubber chicken award to people that had done silly things while trying to hit the ball.
Mhm.
And almost every year there was somebody that like hit the ball behind them or, you know, something funky. But I was like, how the hell do you hit the ball behind you? Like I could understand hitting the tee and the ball just like not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Or you don't get it to the women's tees and you got to drop your pants and prove yourself. But how the fuck do you get it behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So rubber chicken award.
Even like the shortest drive, like I like to watch those.
Yeah.
Those are awesome because they have to actually try.
Yeah.
Oh man, some of those are great. I'm like, my best advice, just Happy Gilmore it.
Of course.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like if you're not
the right
here for,
answer.
I mean, and then people are like, you know, too prideful to do that or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, like you're here to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially that tournament was a lot of fun. There was fireball around and a golf cart like on tap.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. I know you're not supposed to bring booze to a lot of these, but nobody
listens.
Yeah. You know what I saw this last tournament that I feel like I inspired? There was probably 6 holes that had Jello shots at them.
Man, you and your Jello shots.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Are you done with that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
It was a lot of fun though.
How many did you sell?
I'd make like 250 to 300. And I'd sell out of them in 7 hours.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you did that all summer.
All summer. Just 1 day a week.
Is it nice to have your refrigerator back?
Oh my gosh. That's where Costco comes into place. Like I have a few things in there now because I'd have to do it in making that many in your fridge. I have to make some Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday because Tuesday I have to fill it up top to bottom, you know, front to back. And then the next day when they're set up, I just open that drawer and I just scoop them all in that drawer and redo it. And
oh my
then
gosh.
grab the next drawer and redo that. So I'm emptying multiple, like I was coming to work with a huge like Rubbermaid bin like this, just full.
Oh my gosh.
It was wild.
I love it.
But the margin on that is insane.
It's crazy because it doesn't hardly make it cost anything.
Yeah.
And you don't use top shelf.
No,
stuff.
yeah,
No.
well, yeah, all day. I mean, there was sometimes I would bring certain things home that were not well. I'd bring espresso martini flavored vodka with the pudding.
Oh yeah.
That was
that actually sounds really good.
It was really good. I did some quality control on those, you know. Those
of course. You gotta make sure the product's good.
I was like, oh, well, they don't set up and they look weird, right? Because alcohol won't.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So then you have to make it like weak, and I'm like, gosh, like, and I don't want to feel like I'm ripping people off,
right.
you know. So I didn't. Everything I did was at least 50-50.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We've gone to mix a fair amount over the last, 6 months, a year. We were there Friday night and got a Jello shot, and I'm like, Brittany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
weak.
can't. Yeah. This ain't no 50-50.
Yeah. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
When people are trying them and they're like, that is strong. I'm like, well, I didn't
You're
rip you off any.
welcome.
Yeah. They're like $5 for a Jello shot. I'm like, if you think about it though, like where are you going to get a shot? This is a 2-ounce cup. Where else are you going to get a shot that's $5?
Nowhere.
Already.
Yeah.
I'm making this in my house, driving it all the way here. You know, I've made it myself. I've washed my hands every time. I've cleaned my counter before I made these. And it was just so much fun doing it, for sure.
You going to do it next year?
I don't know. I mean, probably, it just depends.
You never know.
Yeah.
But
I
maybe.
never know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It was a good way to definitely be on the water and get paid for what I like to do. Like just be around my friends all the time. And I made money. I made good tips.
It's a win-win-win-win.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's so
for
good.
sure. Then I could still be off work in time to, enjoy the rest of my summer.
Yeah.
So I could commit 7 hours to being there one day a week.
Did you get out on the water as much as you wanted to outside of working?
Yeah.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'd have people waiting at the gas dock for me. I would just go out.
Oh, that's great.
I didn't wake for it as much as I wanted to.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. I actually just tried that this year for the first time.
Oh, and you love it?
Mm-hmm. It was fun. Yeah. Cool. I mean, I ate shit over and over and over again, but, it's fun. It's fun.
I hurt my shoulder trying to, wakeboard, water ski, something. I was trying to get out of the water in.
This year?
Last year? No, 2 years ago. Fuck, I don't know. But yeah, I couldn't like do anything for 6 months with that shoulder. Totally. Because they were going too fast and I was holding on too tight and it just kept pulling on my shoulder.
Oh, brutal.
Totally jacked it up. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just hang out in the boat and drink.
Yeah. Because then you realize that you're like, man, like, I need that arm.
Yeah. It made me feel really old.
Yeah. I bet.
Like I used to be able to bounce back from this sort of stuff. And now I'm just broken.
6 months of recovery time.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
It's terrible. Old man Hamblin.
Oh, man. That is a mess.
Yeah.
So your message for everybody, Brandon, everybody that is listening to you is to be kind.
Be kind.
All right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Keep it simple. Well, we tend to overcomplicate things, and it's not more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited you had me host this.
Oh, this was a blast.
Thank
you for coming and
much.
doing it.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
I do too. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Main Character Podcast. If you dig the content, please click that follow button. And if you found today's guest inspiring, please share this episode with someone you think will benefit from it. If you'd like to be a guest on Main Character Podcast, reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, where I'd also appreciate a follow. All links can be found at my website, coachwithbrandon.com.